to episode 91 of Checkpoint Chat. It's getting higher and higher.
It's the quarantine episode.
The quarantine. There's here's Matty Fig.
Yes, every episode I'm just going to.
We say quarantine episode, but you're still here.
I'm still here.
Get out of my house.
Well, we did talk about this. That I think this episode we hadn't quite figured out a way to record remotely. But if you guys are worried, we are investigating. Well, I mean, you looked up what, like, is it software or platforms or ideas?
There's ways to do. I found this really cool software for Discord that does like basically all the work for us. It's like a bot that like records every person's audio individually, and then there's a separate add-on that records it outside of Discord so that it's not being like, you're not getting Discord's processed audio. But then that part of it was like, oh no, it's only open to early invites only. And I was like, fuck,
damn it.
That would have been so good to use.
On that note, are you a Discord user at all, like in any form? Or have you used it before?
I've used it before. I don't use it frequently.
Yeah, it's that app, I think, not that it's not known, but I think a lot of people don't actually know its potential.
Yeah.
It's like, that's an example. How cool that there's a bot that could do that.
Yeah, and it's just a bot.
Like, yeah. So, I mean, I've used Discord over the last 1 or 2 years purely for gaming online. You know, with my friends, it's a thing of, I've got a Discord, you join my Discord. We've got voice channels. There's also text channels to share random memes or videos. Like, it's a cool place to hang out. But working at home, so just to update on my office, we've all been sent to work from home.
As you should.
As you should.
Yeah.
But like, which we very much can do. All of our work can be done remotely.
Yeah.
But what we all learned this week is that it really delays some of our work not being in the same room, because there's a lot of back and forth for, like, you need to talk to this person, then chat to that person. So we basically trialing it. John, Michael and I were like, you know what, we use Discord in a personal capacity. Why don't we use it for our team? It's like, we'll make our own team server, and then we've laid it out in a way that there are channels for specific projects. There's a lot of chat rooms that we can use as meeting rooms. Okay. And we sort of showed, like, so one of our team members was actually on leave yesterday, and another one was busy to the point that he like didn't chat the whole day. But we've shown it to the rest of everyone, and they've like still getting used to Discord, because it's not a simple thing to just jump in and understand.
Yeah, it's actually quite like different.
Yeah, it just takes some getting used to. But even yesterday alone, it really helped. On one project, I was able to chat to 2 other colleagues in the same place, and then we were able to just jump into a chat room, and like I could share my screen, and then like Skype does that. But the difference with Skype is that you have to now have individual groups for like every thing, whereas Discord just lays it out neatly. So yeah, like, I'm very pleased to see that we've sort of adopted it, and I'm hoping we'll continue to use it.
I feel like with its like image of being like gamer centric, I feel like it doesn't get the business.
It doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, the business acumen that it deserves, because it's like, we are using Zoom, which I'd never heard of until
this
Microsoft
week. Product?
No, so it's not. Now that I've heard of Zoom, now I see it like everywhere, and it's like, oh, Zoom is a big competitor to Microsoft Teams, and it came out of nowhere type thing.
I mean, I suppose it's similar to Slack in a way as well.
Sort of.
Like, so I mean, Slack and Discord, they've got an overlap in some ways as well.
I feel like Discord just does all the things that a lot of these apps, like Slack is really good for text communication and like, but it doesn't do video as far as I know. Yeah. Like Zoom is mostly just video. Yeah. Like you can chat in there, but it's designed around video, and it's like, Discord does all these things. All of that.
Like, the only I don't know about like video conferencing on Discord, but it's very easy for me to, for example, share a screen, and then like yesterday we were reviewing a presentation. I just shared my screen, and we were all in the same chat room and talking it through.
And that's exactly what you need. Like we've done that over Zoom this week, but it's like Discord could do that like just naturally, so that, you know.
So would recommend if you're working from home. The problem is
with Discord, if you're using it for work application and you want to slack off, it's integrated. So everyone will see when you're playing that good match of Counter-Strike in your lunch break. Yeah.
Well, yesterday one of my colleagues joined. She's like, I can see what you're listening to on Spotify right now. I was like, yes, you can. Don't judge
That's
me.
not okay. I don't want people to see what I'm listening to.
No, I was like, don't be surprised if you don't find any. If you only find like gaming soundtracks and music without lyrics, because I can't write when I have people singing in my ear.
It's exactly why I like now working from home. I think it was Imran Khan from Kind of Funny tweeted. It is Imran Khan.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm listening to fewer and fewer podcasts because I'm not commuting anymore.
Yeah, it's likewise.
Yeah,
I've
and
been
he's
driving,
like, where
so
do you listen to your podcasts outside? I'm like, I can't listen to them while I work because it disturbs me.
Yeah. Distracts you or disturbs?
Well, it distracts me completely. Like,
Listen to podcasts like, oh my god,
oh my god, I'm so. In general, I mean, there's some small exceptions, but most of the time, anything with lyrics, I can't.
no.
If I'm working,
Everything I do at work is like writing related.
Oh, that's even worse
and
then.
if I'm not writing, I'm in a meeting or brainstorming or something. So it's very difficult for me to, have an hour and a half long podcast to
Yeah, I know.
see my day out. Whereas Lenska, for example, she often listens to podcasts and TED Talks, and I'm often gobsmacked. I'm like, holy shit, like, how do you do this? But then she says, like, no, if I'm doing like busy work or design work, it's not the same thing. Like, I can sit and do whatever I'm doing, and it's like doesn't distract me at all. It becomes part of like what I'm doing, or it's like almost a background thing.
I thought because I'm mostly doing programming, I thought that'd be perfect for podcasts. But what ends up happening is I either listen too much to the podcast and don't work enough, or while I'm programming, I zone out, and then I'm like, wait, I wasn't focusing on what they were saying. So
The string is not working. What did I do?
yeah, exactly. So it's just
Look, I pride myself on being able to multitask, and I'm adamant that I'm the sort of person I can be on my phone and you can address me and I'll hear you and I'll acknowledge you and still talk to you while like typing a message.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that comes from gaming, because I'm used to talking to someone and like
especially with
playing a game
your Twitch stuff. I mean,
yeah,
you're
I'm
pretty used
sure
to
that's the thing that actually takes getting used to. But when it comes to listening to music, whatever, and trying, like, I can't. You have to focus your attention on one or the other.
Yeah.
There's no way to split it.
I like listening to either like a lot of video game music or not heavy rock, but like rock with a good like Doom soundtrack, but like alternative rock, like good.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as there's no singing, it can be instrumental or whatever.
I can listen there. I can kind of listen to singing because then it's like I'm not really focusing on the lyrics. It's just like noise.
Because you can't hear the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's just screaming. You're like, oh, what?
Exactly. Yeah,
going on?
I'm listening to a lot of System of a Down lately, and it's pretty good. Pretty
No wonder
fucking
you're
good.
so mad. I'm just gonna judge you on your music taste.
I like them.
I'm
It's so like commercial metal, but it's great.
commercial metal.
It's real good.
Hardcore metal fans like, oh, System of a Down, how dare you?
I'm really into hipster metal.
They're the Nickelback of hardcore, of heavy
Fuck, I
metal.
wouldn't be surprised if people actually say that, to be
I'm
honest.
sure you would get people who say that.
But they're pretty good, and I like that Serge Tankian. He's good. Good man.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Joe, this is...
Working from home has been interesting, but let's check my chat.
We talk about working from home.
Talk about working
And
from
we'll-
home and video games.
And we'll be podcasting from home, potentially. If we
Well,
figure
I
out
always
ourselves.
podcast from home.
I mean, we'll be podcasting exclusively from our own homes.
Yeah. I wonder,
Maybe.
I don't know if you saw in Rosebank, but there was a podcast studio there that you could pay for.
In Rosebank?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen one at the box, 27 boxes at
So
it's
similar.
yeah.
So I saw the one at Rosebank and it was like, you can pay to use the studio. They even have cameras set up so you can pay extra for that or whatever. I'm like, man, that business model must be fucked right now.
Yeah, a lot of...
Yeah.
I think what Corona has taught a lot of people is... I mean, like, if you stop and think about it, it's actually quite terrifying to think how many businesses just can't exist
Small
anymore.
restaurants.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think, like, what I was telling Lenski yesterday, it's because, I mean, you talk about it is worrying, but it's the sort of thing, like, the world's had disasters before. I'm like, we've survived 2 world wars, and like at the time it must have equally been like, oh my god, like everything's gone mad. And although most of the war happened in Europe, for example, it still impacted the whole world.
oh yeah, because like
Yeah.
the economy for the world like completely dies.
Yeah, but what I quite like with situations like this, if you want to find a positive, is that you will find there are entrepreneurs or very smart people who find ways to problem solve things.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
what's cool is that when this thing does eventually sort itself out, you never know what sort of innovations will come about that we might integrate into everyday life. But like, how did we live without this before? It's like, my example was Uber. Like 5 years ago, let's say, maybe even less or more, whatever, you would never have thought to pull out your phone and like summon a cab and climb in, whatever. But someone made that connection, and then like it's an everyday.
It's like every E3 I've been to has Uber, and I'm just like trying to imagine the time beforehand. Yeah, it's just like how did this work without Uber?
That's how tech and innovation works. Like Spotify, for example, or Netflix, all these streaming things, like we didn't have them before, and it came about from some sort of need. So my thing is like small restaurants are suffering, but you never know. Like, I don't know, is delivery going to be like just a guaranteed thing across everything? Is there going to be a new way to do it? Like,
we went to Rokomama's the other day, and what did we do? So normally we go in and order there and then just wait. And they were like, hey, appreciate it, but please next time just phone in your order so you can come in and pick it up and
collect it,
like get out of here quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like they're adapting. But support your small local
100%.
restaurants, especially because they're the ones that are going to suffer the most. Like, you better be fucking supporting Frankie's.
That's exactly
Franco's,
what Lenska said yesterday. She's like, oh my God, I'm worried about Franco's.
Yes.
It actually never dawned on me, but then I thought, you know, they've been there a long time. I think they will figure out a way. Like, the community loves that place. They'll find a way to make it work, I think. Like, I don't know. I hope they do.
I hope they found like a delivery service, and then people just go, cool, I'll, you know, if I'm going there once a week, I'll make sure I get delivery from them once a week.
Get delivery once a week, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the problem. People at home, they go, oh, I'm not going to go out as much. I'm not going to order as much. And then the restaurant suddenly sees like a dive, you know.
Yeah, well, our local fruit and veg, we thought when we were all self-isolating, like literally none of us were going out, we thought, well, it would really help if they delivered it. And Lenska phoned, and someone answered like, no, we don't do delivery, bye. And it's like, but I think
just straight up like, no.
No, but I think, I mean, this is still like Monday. So a lot's actually happened in the last week alone. If you think about it, the president's address to everyone like last Sunday, okay? And how much has already changed since then? Like new regulations.
He waited until carte blanche was done to come out.
It was like, yeah, let's go. So at the time, the fruits and veg, maybe they haven't made the connection of like, you know what, people aren't going to come shop. Maybe we should serve the local community and have deliveries. Or,
yeah, it was true. It was after that address, because I felt like, especially, well, at Discovery, I'm not going to say they weren't taking it seriously, but there was like, it was after Sunday that there was this impetus of like, okay, we need to do something.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big wake up call for the country. Yeah. And thank God he did it then, because like since then the numbers have just increased. And I think if we hadn't had an address from the government then, it would have been like a bit more panicky.
Yeah. Oh, more panicky. And I think there would have been more cases already.
But they've done good things. Like they've dropped the interest rate by 1%. They've got bailout money for small businesses.
Yeah.
SA is fucked. Yeah. SA is so... Did you see they banned flights until the end of May?
Oh, SAA. Yeah.
SA is fucked. Like, there's no coming back from...
Yeah, I think...
Drop that airline in an ocean.
Goddamn. Yeah.
Sell off all the planes. Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
It's Checkpoint Chat, second time. We talk about video games.
Yeah, sorry.
Pleasant video games.
Don't worry, Corona will come up again. So video
Corona
games.
will come up again. Sexy. I've already seen someone cosplaying as Corona. I'm just like, oh my God.
No.
This is horrible. I hate this.
What was their cosplay? Were they just like a cell?
Like it was like they took the colors of the like the scientific rendition of Corona. You just like that green and red, and I was just like, why?
Rage 2020, the cosplay winner, coronavirus.
Halloween, sexy Corona costumes.
Oh my God.
Slutty Corona costumes.
I can't even imagine.
Fuck's sake.
But it'll happen. People are...
Someone will be smart and just dress up as like a sexy Corona beer.
Corona beer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Video games.
Video games, it's been a busy week for video games. We haven't played the Doom Eternal yet. We have the Doom Eternal.
So I got a code yesterday. I was very silly actually, because we got the code, like I suppose,
it's on PS4
Thursday or Friday when we got it. And I just never got around to redeeming it until like 9 p.m. I was like, I really messed up, because I could have been playing this now.
Yeah.
So by the time it was installed, it was after midnight. I was like, I'm tired.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But we've got it on PS4, which is, I mean, I'm not bemoaning a review sample of a game, but like that is the one game I'd love to play with.
Well, it's going to be interesting because like I agree with you when it comes to like I have no issue playing something on PS4.
Where did you play 2016?
On PC.
Yeah,
so that's my
exactly.
thing of like I play that on PC. I loved it. What's it going to be like? It'll probably be absolutely fine on controller, but Doom is a thing of depending on your difficulty and how you play the game. The point is to be accurate and like blaze through every level.
And I've seen a lot of people saying that you should play on a difficulty higher than you used to. Like everyone's saying, "Oh, normal's fine, but you should try hard because that's where all the new systems feel like in tune with one another."
Yeah.
I actually think it might be quite useful on a controller because I've watched 1 or 2 gameplay videos since the review embargo dropped, and like there are a lot of buttons for all the different abilities now.
So on a keyboard,
like way more than 2016. So it's like,
how would
this
that
might be a
work?
bit weird on keyboard, especially if you've got to do it super quickly. But then I think about like flicking my aim, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss that so much.
I mean, they always address it on console. There will be some.
I've seen gameplay videos on console, people flicking around like crazy.
Whoa, these people should play esports.
Yeah, exactly. So and that said, like when it comes to games like Call of Duty, I prefer it on console because I'm just better with it. That's mainly because the people online playing Call of Duty with the mouse and keyboard
are just really
too
good.
I mean, you with your Counter-Strike acumen.
No, well, it's John Michael's actually telling me. Because we played a fair bit of Battlezone. I mean, not nearly as much as you, but we've played
not
maybe
Battlezone, Warzone.
Warzone, sorry.
Yes, you're fired.
God, I'm fired. We've played like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay.
But he was telling me
PC?
on PC, yeah.
Okay.
But he was telling me that just from having the last shooter he's played a lot of is Counter-Strike. And he finds himself doing terribly because you'll aim at a person's head and then instinctively drag the mouse down, which is very much a Counter-Strike thing because the aiming is like the recoil, your gun starts shooting up, whether you realize it or not. Whereas Call of Duty, it's a lot more forgiving in that the guns are way more accurate than you give them credit. Like in real life, you probably couldn't fire a weapon like that.
No.
Okay.
No.
So he finds himself dying because he shoots at the head and he instinctively just drags down, and it's like
it does less damage.
Well, now you're just shooting at the feet.
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
Of, your bullets aren't actually still going up towards the
He's
shoulders.
like reprogramming his muscle memory.
Yeah, so it is a thing of like, oh my god. But yeah,
are you enjoying Warzone?
On Warzone, yeah. I mean, we can talk about that. I'm enjoying it, but we've been chatting, and like while it's good, I find that there are still things about it that I'm not fond, not fond of, but that I think don't work as well as like. To me, Apex is still maybe the pinnacle.
I agree.
Battle Royale.
It's my favorite Battle Royale.
I think it came out at in a time when it saw what Fortnite and PUBG were doing, and it addressed a lot of those concerns with, for example, like there's a proper pinging system, there's like a neat armor system, there's a proper loot tier system.
Just on the pinging system, Warzone has its pinging system.
It doesn't feel as intuitive and not nearly as tailored.
At all. And especially on console, like you've played Apex on PS4, right?
I played on both.
Yeah, so like on Apex, you click in the left stick.
Is it? I don't know what
you click in a stick to ping. I swear you do.
I actually can't
or it's
remember.
on a button that's a bit more accessible.
Yeah. What is it on PS4 to ping in Call of Duty?
It's on the D-pad.
No, yeah. So you have to take your thumb off.
Exactly.
I think on Apex it might be a shoulder button. I stand to be corrected.
It might be a shoulder button, or a click. I can't recall. No, the click is sprint. So, but it is. I do. Is it clicking on the right stick? It might be that.
It might be. Yeah.
I seem to remember it being a click, but I do know that it was like as soon as I played Warzone and it was like, oh, press up on the D-pad. I was like, this doesn't feel good.
It doesn't make sense because if you're aiming with your left stick, for example, you watching an enemy run in the horizon, you have to like aim on them, then push.
I can't carry on moving.
Yeah.
If I want to ping, I have to stop moving. And I find that fewer people ping specifically because of that. It's not as, especially with like loot, it's like I can't just look at a piece of loot, ping it, move quickly. I have to actively stop. Like it's weird that just a control scheme thing is making the system actually kind of worse.
I mean, you could remap that essentially, but just in terms of like even if pinging is fine, I found that Apex is the way it contextualizes everything is way better. It feels like you can click on any random item your character will be like, oh, like this door's open or whatever. I don't know
Yes.
if Call of Duty's got that same level of detail.
It does sort of, but I feel like it's a bit less forgiving with the. I found when I'm trying to ping enemies, it will often like ping pieces of like ground just before it, or pieces behind them, like not the enemy. And I find in Apex it's like
it tracks.
very, very tracking. Yeah.
So
it's
in
very
voice
good.
chat, like there's an enemy there, and your character in games like, there's a patch of grass here.
Yeah, and it's like,
Like,
okay,
no,
cool.
okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
No, so in terms of the pinging system, like it's cool that Warzone has it, but Apex's is just like so much better.
But then like another thing, so in Warzone, if you guys don't know, it's got like a currency system where cash. Yeah, so you can loot a building and you'll find weapons and stashes of cash. If you kill enemies, you'll pick up cash, and you use this cash for in a number of different ways. Like one being, if your teamies die, you could pay to have them respawn in the game.
Yeah,
which is fun. Like I think that's a cool mechanic.
I kind of love it. Yeah,
because in battle royales, like one of the inverted commas bad things is like if you die, you kind of out. But then again, Apex addressed that by being like, no, grab the beacon, you can still have a shot. Okay, but
in Apex you can only do it 3 times.
Is there a limit to it?
I swear there's a limit to it.
I mean,
there's no limit in Warzone.
Good luck trying to get
exactly
3 revives.
Even 3
general,
revives is like pretty intense. Yeah,
but in Warzone you can also you can spend this cash to also like get UAVs or like that sort of stuff. But
Kill streaks, yeah.
one thing that you can get, and it doesn't cost that much, because the thing is you can share currency between your teamies.
Yes.
You can pool all your money together to get a supply drop.
Yes.
Okay, so the supply drop, essentially you can run up to it and you can get a loadout that you've done outside in the main menu. And that to me, like, while I can appreciate it, because it's a thing of like, if I respawn, we could get a supply drop, I'm back in the game, no issue. But it also completely eliminates that charm of in Apex or even Fortnite or PUBG of you looting a building being like, oh my God, there's a golden weapon here.
Yeah.
Like it completely eliminates that. Part of the, like, I know it can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like dull or meaningless. Like,
no, but I think dull's the right word.
But in terms of looting, like some people might find the looting phase of the game like boring. And I agree, like sometimes it is like, oh my God, like I'm spending 10 minutes looting up just to go die. But sometimes it can be, you get a thrill, like, holy shit, I can't believe I found this weapon. I'm so excited to use it. Well, I died. Oh my God. You know?
No, I agree 100%. It was like it was the main criticism I had in my review, which
have you published your review now?
Yeah.
What did you actually end up giving it?
7.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people. There was one comment. It's like, this is a stupid review. Should be 8 at least. I'm like, are you fucking joking? Are you giving me so much shit off 1 point? Anyway,
I think. Look, I've hardly played it, but my initial thoughts, I think 7.5 is.
I started on an 8, and then like, because I give the score after I've written usually. And then I asked for feedback on that, and then some people said it read like an 8, some people said it read like a 7, and then I looked at it again, and I was like, this actually feels like a 7.
A 7,
so,
yeah. I mean, and again, 7's not bad.
7's not bad. 7 on
Seven's
GameSpot
good.
scale is good. It literally says good.
Yeah.
Like, good, not great. It's good. But anyway, this loadout thing, I agree 100%. I think firstly, it's too cheap.
Yeah, like, it's like incredibly
it's way too cheap.
Yeah.
I've brought down a loadout within like 3 minutes in a game before. Looting just by myself, not even pooling together. Because if you drop somewhere in like Storage Town where there's so many chests, like you can build up, I think it's it's 6,500.
Yeah.
That's like 4 or 5 chests,
Yeah.
easy. And then I think the problem with it as well is that it gives everyone on the squad a loadout. I think if it was a single use, it might mitigate it quite more.
Yeah.
But it's like you pull together 6,500 and suddenly your entire squad has a kit.
Yeah.
It's like, I agree. It shifts the focus from looting and being like scrappy. It's like, oh God, I'm ready. How many times have you played a battle royale, especially PUBG? Which I kind of loved it. It was like, you're going to buildings, you're like, I cannot find a good weapon.
But I've got a frying pan.
Yeah, I've got a frying pan, or I've got a shotgun, or I've got this like SMG in this field where a sniper will pip me from. It's like making do with those things is the charm of the battle royale. I love that, like, it feels so good when you get a kill like in Apex with the fucking Mozambique, because that's all you have, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually killed someone with this thing. And that dilutes it with here when it's just like people bring in assault rifles, kitted out assault rifles, and then like thermal scoped snipers, and that's all everyone.
But that's another concern in that if you play Apex or PUBG or Fortnite, there's no elements of it that like an experienced player will have the edge over you purely based on their experience, not based on perks or unlocks or anything. So in Call of Duty, we've spoken about loadouts, and those loadouts can be tailored based on how often you play with the weapon. You'll level it up. Am I correct? Because I actually haven't.
Yeah, weapons level up, and you unlock scopes and things based on how many times you use that weapon.
Yeah, and then you can get certain perks based on your level. Now, if I'm a level 1 player,
so if you don't own Modern Warfare and you never played the multiplayer, now you've got no scopes for any of the weapons.
I've got nothing. So I land in like, cool, I get a loadout, but my assault rifle is stock standard.
And it'll take a while to upgrade it.
On the other side of the map, there's a dude who's played Call of Duty for like a year now, whatever it is. They get a loadout in the same time frame. They've got, like you said, a thermal scope. They've got all the perks that I don't have. And it's like,
it feels unfair.
That's unfair. Like, it straight up is unfair. Like, a scope's not going to make me a better player, but it certainly helps when it's a thermal scope.
Yeah, especially when you've got the mode. Like, I appreciate that Warzone brings in all my stats from multiplayer, but I get that view where it's like, this is a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
If you're playing against people that also like, oh, I like this weapon, I'm going to play matches in multiplayer where I get way more kills and level up this gun way quicker. You know, if you're just playing Warzone, the odds of that are like much, much smaller.
Yeah.
And then it also like, I feel like when you're playing Apex and you're playing, you know, Fortnite as well, there's such an emphasis on patches, because it's like, this, especially in Fortnite, it's like this weapon is getting vaulted, so it's getting taken out of the game temporarily, and we're adding this, so it shifts the meta.
Yeah.
With this like the meta is all over the place, because like the meta is governed by what players are bringing into the match, not what the match has for players.
Yeah.
Because you have this set number of weapons on the map, and you can play a lot of Warzone and memorize like, oh, he's shooting me with this gun. Oh, he's shooting. Now you have no idea.
Yeah.
Because it could be any weapon in the game that is not specific to Warzone. So it's like, it's very hard. In Apex, you know when you're getting hit with like a big sniper, or you know when someone's got the, what's that submachine gun? Anyway, like you can tell.
There's,
if it's suddenly just like weapons that people can bring out, it's weird. It is the single part of Warzone, because Warzone, like we're bagging on it big time, but I actually like Warzone.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, like, although, I mean, these are just our criticisms, but on the other side of the coin, it's a Call of Duty shooter, and it is a lot of fun.
It's a
no
ton
doubt,
of fun.
It's
like,
a lot of fun.
I played it all of Saturday and Sunday last week, and the loadout thing is the only thing that bugged me, to the point where I was actively not using it, because I was like, this is actually diluting my fun. So I'm going to play it, you know, I'm probably going to struggle against people who can see me from miles away with a thermal scope, but like I'm enjoying the time. But other than that, the game is really good.
Yeah.
I think the emphasis on respawning is awesome.
Yeah, no, so I mean, on that note, so I do still tend to favor Apex, but there are a lot of things in Call of Duty that I think they're trying, which I really do enjoy. So one, like we've mentioned, is a respawning thing, and one thing you touched on last week was the gulag. The gulag. If you die in the game, you're not immediately out. Whatever, you get put into the gulag, and you have a one-on-one match with someone else, and if you win, you come back into the game, which is like, it doesn't make sense in the
no, not at all.
In real life, it doesn't make sense. You die, you die.
Yeah,
but in this game, it's like
no sense,
you die, you go to prison, you have a one-on-one battle, and it's just a fun thing, because it adds another element of it, and like, holy shit, I'm out, but I have another shot at getting back.
I also found, like, how many times did you play a battle royale where you've looted, you get killed, and you're like, oh cool, back to the menu.
Yeah,
you
back
basically
to the
didn't
menu.
fire. So like, even with the gulag, like, even if that happens to you, you have a chance to fire a weapon at someone. You have a chance to.
Yeah.
So I feel like it always gives you, even if you lose that match, like, you have a chance to do something.
Yeah.
You know? I also just like the emphasis on being able to respawn pretty quickly and easily. Like, I've had moments where we've like squad wiped like a squad somewhere, and like I'm still in the mode of like, cool, I'm going to look at all their weapons and loot. And by the time I've done that, they've all won like life back in the gulag and come back, and then they've killed us. And it's like,
yeah, you got to be careful.
This changes the whole way, I think, of how death works in a battle royale.
So in that context, like I can appreciate a supply drop, because it is like if you die and to come back and like re-loot, like you are going to be at a disadvantage. Whereas
100%.
the supply drop is like you can get back in the game immediately
if you get enough money.
You get enough money, yeah. But it is like I get what they're trying to do. So some of it I feel like it hits real well, but some of it it's like I don't know how you would address it, but I don't quite like it.
They just need to balance it a little bit.
So yeah, that's my thing. Is like it's only just come out. Like I am curious to see what are their plans moving forward. Like how do they patch it? How do they address? Because I mean I don't think we are alone in some of these criticisms.
No, I've seen a lot of people saying that loadouts is a problem.
I mean, do they turn around and be like, you know what? Like
no loadouts.
No loadouts, or like everyone gets access to everything, for example.
I think for now the easiest way to address it before they think of a more meaningful change is to limit it to one person.
Yeah.
Don't let the whole squad take it.
That to me is like a fair
because
fair
then
balance thing.
Instead of 6,500, like to get everyone kitted,
like
you have to get
20,
it 3 times.
yeah.
Which means people have to loot more. Which might not fix the problem completely, but I think it fixes it in the early game.
It balances a lot more. So that's something I could see them doing.
I will say though that winning your life back in the gulag when you're playing solos, because I activated solos during this week, that shit is hard.
Really?
Oh my god! Because the number of times I've come back and I like try land somewhere, especially if you're winning back life like in the second or third circle. I find this circle closes extremely aggressively. Like, it's very quick. The matches are very quick, which I kind of like.
That's cool, yeah.
And the circle closes extremely quickly.
Because that map's really big.
It's huge, yeah.
But despite
it's like
that,
PUBG size almost.
Yeah, but despite that, the games go. They feel really quick.
And also because there's 150 people, I feel like the map is very populated.
Yeah, it's super populated.
So yeah, you die in that circle extremely quickly, so you don't want to be caught. But man, I've bought back life like when there's like 30 people left in a solos, and I'm like dropping, and I'm like, I cannot find a weapon. I just can't. Like I felt so good the one match because I was running through a building and I heard someone, so I hid in a corner. And I waited, and this guy came, and I killed him with a pistol, and he was kitted. He didn't see me. So
he was so confused.
Yeah, he was kitted, and over voice chat, he was just swearing. He was just like, "Fuck,
you son of a bitch!"
And I just had all these weapons again, and I was so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you see, those are the moments that I love, like those scrappy, dynamic moments that, like, if I called in a loadout, I'd be robbed of.
Yeah.
So
sure, but all that being said, the game is good.
Yeah, no, Warzone's good.
But I do think there are rooms for
the shooting's good.
I cannot speak. There's room for improvements and tweaks.
Yeah, no, there's room. The shooting's good. Plunder's a waste of a mode, I think.
What is Plunder?
Plunder's that alternative mode. So it's not battle royale. It takes place on the same map, and the focus is like to like loot a lot of cash.
Yeah.
So it's like you and your team get a lot of cash on your person, and then you take it to drop points to like bank it essentially. Because if you get killed, then you drop that money. I don't like it. I think it's boring. I think each match often takes. It's time limited to 30 minutes or till the first team gets to 1 million.
Yeah.
And the matches feel way too long.
Okay.
And they mark the leaders on the map. So what ends up happening, as far as I can, based on the matches I've played, is everyone just focuses on that. And you end up just having one portion of the map that stays like the firefight for the entire game.
Yeah.
And it's just mayhem. It's just like 150 people shooting from all different directions. Like it feels like the warm-up to the Battle Royale, except now there's actual stakes to it. It's I don't like it at all. I think it's bad.
I'm just give it a bash. I didn't even realize there was another mood.
I played a bit of that and I was like,
nah, fam.
No.
I'm gonna go hard with my pistol in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Warzone. Yeah. What else you been jamming?
So I played the Resident Evil 3 demo this week. And let me tell you, I'm excited for that game. I mean, always have been, no doubt about it. But the demo is really like a vertical slice that happens. I don't know, like if I compare it to the original game, it's probably
It's not time limited like the Resident Evil 2 demo.
Which I actually completely forgot about. So I was streaming it. A lot of people saying like, "Is there a time limit?" And I was like, "Oh no, like there actually isn't."
Yeah, the second one was very time limited.
You can just take your time going through it.
Was the second one an hour? Hey.
No, I think it was way shorter. It was like half an hour, 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
20 minutes,
it was
30 minutes,
way shorter. Yeah. Oh, maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like a vertical slice. I'd say like I don't know how the storyline is in the remake, but based in the original game, you may be like a quarter of the way through, maybe a third of the way through.
Okay.
So it sets you up that you start in a subway station and you have to help bring the train online to get it moving, whatever. And you've got access to, I'd say, maybe 2 or 3 streets with a couple of buildings. But just this demo alone shows like how different this game feels to Resident Evil 2, where although there's a lot of overlap in that. So Resident Evil 2, we know you're in the police station, like very claustrophobic because you're in these narrow corridors, whatever. But it feels like, despite being out in Raccoon City now, like out in the open, there's still tons of like very narrow alleys. And if you are on a main street, they just have what feels like a lot more zombies to make your life hell.
So you have to navigate your way.
You have to navigate it. But I mean,
you're not killing all of them because you don't have the ammo to do it.
Yeah, so they do mitigate that and they give you tools to address. Because I mean, like, it's not fair to just throw 4 million zombies at you and give you the same ammo count, for example. So what you will find in Resident Evil 3 based on this demo is that there are a lot more red barrels, for example.
Okay.
But then it becomes a thing of, like, do you use a red barrel now or do you wait for Nemesis to show up and you bank it for if he's chasing you? It's like a way
because once you've used it, you've used it.
Once you've used it, you've used it. So, like, I use most of mine, no problem. And then when Nemesis popped up, I was like, oh shit, like, now I just have to run. Like, I can't stagger him or anything.
Yeah.
But it's a thing of, I almost prefer that because, like, I'd rather run away from him than have to deal with 4 or 5 zombies coming at me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are little changes like that where...
So you see Nemesis in this demo?
You see Nemesis in this demo.
Because like in the Resident Evil 2 demo, you never saw Mr. X.
No, you never did. But I mean, I almost would have been disappointed if they didn't show him.
Yeah, because he's a much bigger component to the game,
But they've made some changes in that. So if you remember in Resident Evil 2, you got to pick up knives, for example, and
they were consumable.
They were consumable in that if you used it like... If you used it enough,
3 times it broke
could,
or something.
So if you got grabbed by a zombie, you could use it to not take damage, but you would lose the knife
yes, that's how it
until
worked,
you like kill the zombie and picked it up again. But it's got a limited durability, so it could break. Okay. So in this game, so in Resident Evil 2, that kind of helped because it was a thing of like, I've been grabbed.
Do I take the damage?
Do I take the damage?
Yes.
I've got a spare knife. Like, I'll just expend this one. It's not a problem.
Yes.
In Resident Evil 3, your knife, you've only got one knife. It will last. It's got no durability, so you can use it however often you want. But when you get grabbed, you now can't. You don't have that choice. You get grabbed, you get grabbed. Like, that's that. You take the damage.
Okay.
However, to assist you in that, Joel. So, like, even in context, like Resident Evil 2, Leon and Claire are like complete rookies. They don't know what's happening. You feel like, oh my god, these dudes don't know what they're doing. You in the apocalypse with them, reacting how they would react. Although that stands up for debate. Like, I wouldn't know to put a hand grenade in a zombie's mouth. But that's a sidebar.
Well, now I do.
Yeah, now I do. Whereas Jill, like, based in the story, it's the same Jill from Resident Evil 1. So she's had experience dealing with zombies and that sort of thing. So she's got access to a dodge ability.
Okay.
Which is very much what the original Resident Evil 3 introduced as well. If you timed a button press correctly, you would dodge out the way.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it works similarly in this one. If like a zombie's about to grab you, you've got a dodge button that will like put you a step forward, a step back, depending on which direction you're pushing.
Okay.
If you time it right, you'll roll out the way. So like it's very interesting because although the odds are against you, as in
I'm thinking it's like Alan. You've never played Alan Wake.
I played Alan Wake.
That little dodge.
Yeah. So it's similar in that you can use it freely, but if you time it correctly, like, you'll get out of the way of a zombie. But the window is small enough that I don't think you can abuse it.
Okay.
Unless you're like a professional. Like,
I
actually, what I find so interesting is I watch speedrunners play it, and they realize
what, the demo?
The demo,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So they can finish in like a minute and 40 seconds. Okay. Because they just beelining to the key item. And
the demo came out like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but people figure that shit out.
That's amazing.
So they obviously rely on this heavily to save time through certain areas. But even the one speedrunner I was watching, he can't get it right like every time. He's still obviously figuring it out, but my point is like you can't abuse it. Like you can't just spam the dodge button and like survive. Okay.
Yeah. Is it like one of those things where you press it and it locks you into that animation? So like,
yeah. So if you mistime it, you're gonna get grabbed anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you could roll out the way and maybe end up.
It's not like Bayoneta's extremely liberal dodge.
I don't think it's liberal. Like I only managed to do it twice by complete accident against Nemesis, where he was like going to do something and I panicked and I pushed the button and dodged. I was like, oh my god, like I got it right, but it wasn't me planning. Like, hey, like,
and then you like freeze because you're so awestruck, and then he whacks you in the head with the rocket launcher.
Like, okay, like I'm gonna dodge him, and like I pushed the button and he just punched me in the face. Like, okay, well,
I'm a Dark Souls player. I can do this shit.
I can do it. So the point is like it feels different in that way. Resident Evil 2, you've got your weapons. There are ways to escape, like guaranteed, because you can expend your items. Here though, it's the odds are against you, but you kind of have a fighting chance because you have red barrels, for example. You have your dodge ability, and it's just cool because you're in the city. It feels different. It's like although I said it still has some overlap in that if you're in a tight alleyway, it's claustrophobic. But it just the fact that you're walking through a city,
it doesn't feel like a twisty building.
It's not like the police. Like it's not me shitting on Resident Evil 2, but most of it is you're in a police station.
Yes,
and then the second half of the game you're like in a laboratory. Here it's like I'm in the street. I'm going downstairs. Like I'm in a pharmacy now. Okay, now I'm in like I don't know, like a diner, for example. There's just like a whole different
variety,
variety and aesthetic, and it. I mean, like, I know this is a vertical slice, but it feels very different in that the area felt a lot more open.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't even criticize Resident Evil 2 in that because a lot of the areas do fold back into themselves.
Okay.
This just felt like a big area that's like I could go through that door and shortcut to that area and vice versa.
Okay.
So I'm quite curious to see how the main game is because based on this, like, it feels really good. It's different and it's still very much that Resident Evil like 2 that we know. It's the same feel.
You still only have like 2 weapons. I never played 3, so I don't know.
No. So in terms of, remember, Resident Evil 2, you could have like 4 weapons equipped.
Yes.
And you'd select them with the directional pad.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. You have like, I had a pistol and a shotgun and hand grenades, and I could select them.
Okay.
So it feels very much the same in that way. Even the shooting, like when you aim your reticules like big, and if you give it enough time, it focuses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that a lot too. Yeah.
But in terms of environment and just these little tweaks, it is going to be different. And Mr. X was an asshole. Nemesis
is a whole new level.
He's got other shit at his disposal, whereas Mr. X would just run at you and punch you. Like
He was a gentleman about.
He wore a hat. He was a gentleman. Yeah. I've run away from Nemesis and like been pulled back by. He's got
like a leash.
I suppose it's like a vine or like whatever.
Oh my God.
Not a vine, like a tentacle.
Oh my God.
He can like grab you and pull you back to him, for example.
Oh no.
There are times when you run away and he like just jumps up and like lands in front of you. It's like,
no.
Okay, Mr. X never did this shit.
And has he rocket launched you yet?
No. I don't know if that's in the demo. But spoiler, in the Resident Evil 3,
definitely gets a rocket launcher.
It's iconic. He gets a rocket launcher and
then
he
fucks your shit up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you hear him like coming like that same like...
He actually looks very. There've been moments where I've looked at him without seeing his head. I'm like, oh my God, it's Mr. X, because he's tall, and you just see the shoulders. I'm like, oh my God, run away! But it's very much the same. Like you know he's coming,
and you hear that him stepping towards you.
Yeah, but I love this. So there's one part in the demo where there's a completely optional safe you can open. So Nemesis was chasing me, and I'm like running. I'm like, oh, but here's the safe I need to open, and that's the one immersion thing that Resident Evil still doesn't quite get right, in that if you're in your menu, it pauses the game. Although I'm not sure, because I was opening the safe, I was like, it's fine. I know this game. Like I'm gonna abuse this system. But while I was doing the safe, the music was fine, and then the Nemesis music started. I was like, oh my God, like he's
coming for you.
Is he in the room? Like, so I like quickly do it, open the door, and then I hear him stomping, and I was like, oh my God, he's in the room.
So it probably moves him. He can't disturb you.
I don't know if he can get you, but the music 100% changed. So I was like, did he just get close in that time, or I don't know. But
I mean, there was that news that he would break into safe rooms, which was corrected by Capcom. But there are points in the game where you can save, which aren't safe rooms, but Nemesis can still fuck you up.
Well,
there.
I really wanted to test that. So I died once in the demo where, like I said, I tried to dodge him and he punched me in the face several times.
Nice.
So I was like, oh my God, I need to get to the safe room because I've got healing in there, whatever.
Hmm.
So I was like, I wonder if he'll pull a Mr. X. And the moment I'm in, just like,
Just
turn
walk
around
away,
and walk
yeah.
away. So I tried to get to the door, and as I was opening it, he killed me. So I actually can't confirm whether he like goes blind in that with that space room, save room, for example.
The one in Resident Evil 2 was always near the it was in the basement near the police locker. There's a save room right there, and I'd often like hide in the save room, wait till Mr. X is gone, run to the locker room so I could unlock something.
Yeah, just do some circles there.
Yeah, that locker room was great. It's like, are you coming this way or that way? It's like playing a game with your dog around a table type of thing.
I mean, I had the same moments in the demo where there's a diner, and there's basically, it's the same sort of concept of like you can loop around. So I'm like, okay, I stand there, I'm like, okay, come in, which way are you going? Like, I want to go the other way.
Wait till he has a rocket launch and he's going to be like, cool, yeah.
I'm going to cry.
We're not going to play this game anymore. Yeah.
So yeah, the demo really gave a good taste of
Okay.
the system.
I downloaded
the
it
world.
yesterday, so I'm going to give it a go.
I mean, it took me 35 minutes to finish.
Oh, really? Okay.
But then I saw kind of funny, Andy played it. It took him like 20 minutes. So I don't know if he just beelined his way through. I haven't watched it.
He hates horror games.
Yeah,
though.
so I haven't watched it, but I just skipped to the end as a matter of interest. Like, oh, it took him 20 minutes. So
Okay, it's a taste, and the game's out soon. It's what, 3rd of April?
3rd of April, yeah.
Yeah, because
like 2 weeks.
3rd of April, and then 10th of April is Final Fantasy.
Got so much to finish between. I mean, I've got Animal Crossing, Doom. I still need to finish Ori in the next 2 weeks.
I'm waiting for a patch for Ori. I saw them yesterday message saying that they're looking at performance on Xbox and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for that.
On PC, like I've mentioned, I have had. It doesn't break the game for me, but you can feel there's like a bit of video lag now and then, and I'm like this isn't quite right just yet. Like there's a reason I plan to stream it both times this week, and I did stream for 2 hours on Tuesday, but then come Thursday, for example, I was like, I actually just want to play it in my own time, and maybe there'll be a patch coming out soon.
Now on the One X, it's like dropping from 60 to like 40, sometimes 30, and it's like no.
But I can tell you that game is like, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm super keen to get to it.
The changes I've done, it's the more I play, I'm like, holy shit, this is really special.
I like I said, I really want to get to it. I don't want to play it and then get soured by those things. So I'd rather just I have other things to play. So I'm waiting till they polish it up a little bit. So I have no qualms waiting for that.
I know we've talked a lot about games already, but you've played something else.
I've played. I started my very first Animal Crossing.
I've also never played Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I've never dabbled in an Animal Crossing. I've always tangentially known. My only real exposure to Animal Crossing was playing Villager in Smash.
Yeah. And my only other
he
touch
was
point.
so powerful in
He's
Smash.
super strong. Yeah.
Holy shit!
And is it Bella, the little dog?
Is she in Smash?
Yeah, she's.
I thought she was just a trophy character.
No. She's in the new Smash.
Oh,
yeah.
But she's so cute. I don't want to punch her.
So she's like Villager. She's full of shits.
Villager is full of shit. Villager can pocket your things. He can grow a tree. If he chops down that tree and that tree hits you, you're dead. You're dead. Game over.
Yeah. So that's also my only real touch point with Animal Crossing. That and I know that the raccoon / not raccoon is Tom Nook.
Yes. And then he has two nephews called Timmy and Tommy Nook.
Oh, okay, that I didn't know.
Also, Tom Nook is an asshole. He sells you things. He gives you things, and then only afterwards is like, "Oh, you owe me for this."
Like what?
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, like right now." So, New Horizons basically transports you into random villages to an island, deserted island. And by my understanding, this is new for the series, where you don't have like an established settlement that you're just being inserted into. It's like completely fresh. Base, like whatever.
So in previous games you were like there's a setup.
So as far as I know,
okay.
Yeah. So now you basically just like set up tents on this deserted island, and you get to work kind of like hunting and gathering stuff just to kind of like survive. So like for instance, I have a tent, and I got given a tent, and when I paid off my initial loan to like move to the island, which I was like, what? When I paid that off, he's like, tent is kind of like cramped. Don't you think you should upgrade to a house and whatever? And now I'm on the hook for a loan of like 98,000 bells or something like that because I'm like upgrading my. To be fair, he's not charging me interest, and he's very liberal with the repayment plan. But yeah, wow, this is like baby's first bank account. Like it's really.
This is teaching kids the importance of paying off a bond.
Jesus, yeah. Like, is he going to send Timmy and Tommy to break my kneecaps? Yeah.
You didn't send your payments.
Yeah, exactly.
Those coconuts you looted, they're ours.
You sleep in game and you get woken up just to the sight of two raccoons
in real
looking
life.
at you. Yeah. And they're just like, hello. Yeah. Do you have the bells you need?
So is the currency called bells? Like what is it?
Yeah. So the currency is called bells. And then you've got this separate currency, which is new to New Horizons, called Nook Miles, which I thought was kind of like a
Discovery Miles.
Yeah, exactly, like a rewards program, which it kind of is actually, but it's like a secondary currency. What I like a lot about Nook Miles is that you get rewarded these miles for basically just playing the game. So like I got them for catching 10 fish, I got them for catching my first 10 insects, or things I was doing naturally, and it was rewarding.
Then you redeem them for a coffee.
Essentially, yes. So I could redeem them for in-game items. I could redeem it for a ticket to visit a secret island. I could redeem it for what was the one thing that I really liked? Oh, inventory expansion, stuff like that. So that's cool. But basically, on my first day, I gathered some insects, like local flora and fauna, and I showed them to Tom Nook, and he was like, cool, I'm going to invite one of my friends called Blathers to the island who's going to set up like a museum. So every time you capture a species of something for the first time, you give it to him and he puts it in the museum.
That's very similar to Stardew Valley. In that
Stardew Valley takes a lot of
inspiration.
Crossing,
Whereas Stardew Valley, it's also like a old museum or library where you can donate.
Yes, it's essentially the same
items,
thing. Yeah. So right now I've set up Blathers' tent, but I need to wait one like real world day till he moves in, and I don't have a lot of inventory space. So right now, next to his in construction tent are just tons and tons of crates of animals waiting to be donated to.
Oh my word!
Because I just drop them on the ground and they stay there. So
I hope you're feeding these animals.
Well, what's cool is that if it's a fish, it's like I caught like a pretty big bass and I dropped like basically a whole fucking tank.
Did you drop the bass?
I dropped the bass in the tank. Dropped it. There was even one. It's so good. There's every time you catch something or do something, there's a pun. So like I caught a black bass and it's like the most metal of fish, and I was like, oh
you're like, I see you. I see you.
And I caught a salmon and it's like it's only upstream from here, and it's like okay, it's so good.
Like Matty wrote this script.
Yeah, Matty wrote this. Matty or Curvin wrote this. They're having so much fun. So God, yeah, there's some truly, truly terrible puns that just make me laugh. Yeah. So basically, I didn't realize that Animal Crossing is really like a game you don't binge for 8 hours a day. It's sort of a game you play for 2-3 hours every day. You come back to it every day. So like the trees you go to have fruit on them, and they only grow back per day. You can shake trees or hit them with an axe to get wood or twigs, respectively, and those stop generating after a certain amount of time. You can hit rocks, or you can be stupid like me and break them, and
rocks
have no
ain't gonna
rocks
grow back.
anymore. Yeah.
Don't you hate it when your island doesn't have rocks? What a first world problem.
I've already pulled out every single weed around the island that I can get to because I can't cross the rivers yet.
How big is your island? Like as a matter of interest?
It's quite big, but it gates you in the first day because you need a vaulting pole to get over rivers. So I've only had access to like a quarter of my island.
Okay.
Which I've been walking around and, kind of like, I think it's clever that they force you to do that on the first day. It doesn't feel like it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I've set up tents for my 2 villagers. I go and chat to them pretty regularly, and if you chat to them, depending on the time of day, they might give you certain things. Also, if you come back like in the morning versus the afternoon and the evening, different insects and fish will be out. So you can see it in the encyclopedia. Like I played at night and there were a lot more crickets and moths, which obviously won't be there during the day. So it's like it rewards me to keep checking in every now and then.
And you mentioned earlier that's quite a cool thing that because we're in the southern hemisphere,
Yes.
picks that up and you're in autumn
So this
now.
is a new thing, as far as I can tell, the hemispheres thing, because as far as I know, previous entries only stuck to Northern Hemisphere. So now
okay.
so at the beginning of the game, it asks you, where do you reside?
Okay.
And it's like Africa. And it's like, Africa's big and it's in 2 hemispheres. Which hemisphere are you in?
Oh,
It's like
that's
Southern
cool.
Hemisphere,
Yeah.
yeah. So it reflects my weather.
Yeah.
It reflects weather and time of day in game, which is pretty cool because we're going into winter now.
Okay, so if you play during the day, your in-game
it's day.
will be day. And
Yeah. And then you play
so
at night.
I'm
it's
only
night.
going to play at night because I play at night.
Oh God, you're gonna be.
No.
You need to log in the morning. and
Lunchtime or
Yeah.
morning things. Yeah.
I found yesterday, because I played throughout yesterday, like an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, and an hour at night, and I got everything I needed to.
This sounds like a very slippery slope.
Yes,
I'm scared.
It reminds me a lot of Pokemon Go in
no.
a sense, but it's both really charming and like incredibly engrossing. Like yesterday, I was just playing. Like I didn't have much to do anymore because I'd caught everything I could have, and there were like no more resources for me to gather and whatever. But I was still like walking around, picking up shells, selling them, going outside, walking
But this
around.
is the danger with these games, though, because even Stardew Valley, when I played it, I mean, before I played it, I think I'd read the Blood, Sweat, and Pixels chapter on Stardew Valley, and I always read and heard of Stardew Valley being like, it's an addiction, it's this and this and this. A lot of people love it. It's really great. And I mean, looking at the game, I was like, I don't know if I would enjoy this. But then when I played it, I mean, 30
got
hours
hooked
later,
in.
I got hooked. And the reason you get hooked is from, it's funny how the in-game activities, you'll find ways to keep yourself busy.
It's just the routine.
Yeah, so it is like Stardew Valley, for example, is like you've got X amount of time per day, like 10, 15 minutes. So you can only get so much done. And it is like, well, okay, it's a new day. Today I'm going to go water my crops, and then I'm going to go to town to do some shopping, and then go to the mine. And I do all of that, then I go back to bed, then I wake up the next day. It's like, a new day. Okay, I need to water my crops. Today I think I'll go. And you get caught up in this digital world, but you like scheduling your day, planning out what you must do. And it's like, there's a reason I say it's a slippery slope, because it's a lot of fun and it can be very addictive.
Oh yeah, I feel like this is the exact same thing. I've already planted some flowers on mine, and I know that I've planted different types of flowers. So if I water them, they cross pollinate.
My word. And can we acknowledge how dumb this sounds?
Yes.
Okay. Like if I had to explain to my mom,
How do flowers work?
I'm gonna grow flowers in my game. She'll be like, that's ridiculous. No, like and I'm gonna go collect this in my game. It sounds absolutely ridiculous because it's like a daily thing
it's like
you
a
would
routine.
do.
Your mom is like, "This is my job. Why are you doing
like
this
why are you
digitally?"
doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite recent example is there's a guy at my office, Nick Bertie, who I
played Warzone with him.
You played Warzone with him. I've told you this before. Knowing the sort of games he plays, he loves shooters. And then the other day, Stardew Valley was on sale on the Google store, and he's like, "Hey, like,
on his phone.
on his phone, he's
Oh,
like, hey,
that's
you guys
dangerous.
I've heard of this.
Fuck
Like,
me.
do you guys recommend I play it?" And I looked at him, I was like, I don't know if it would appeal to
That's
you.
so dangerous.
But John Michael was like, you know what, it's great. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, I never thought I'd enjoy it, and I played it and I loved it. And however many days later, Bertie's playing Stardew Valley, and then one day I was like, "What season are you in?" He's like, "I'm in winter." I was like, "Holy shit! Like, you've gone through a whole year. What's your game time? 25 hours."
Oh my god.
So it just shows you games like this can appeal to like everyone.
Because it's like this slower pace, and at the same time, like I never got into Stardew Valley as heavily as you did. Like I appreciated it, but it never hooked me in the same way. But this immediately, I don't know if the onboarding was just really good,
Yeah,
but I'm just like, man,
Stardew
I'm so
Valley's
into
got
it.
like, sorry to keep bringing up Stardew Valley because that to me is just my direct comparison.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley has a lot of like shit buried under the surface that you 100% have to pull up. It's like Minecraft. Minecraft's very accessible, but there's a lot of, you can spend hours just going through like Minecraft encyclopedias and guides being like, oh, if I do this specific thing, this is what
It doesn't surface it to you.
No,
yeah.
but you have to investigate and figure it out. Whereas maybe Animal Crossing is, although
Yeah.
it's maybe more palatable. But you've also told me that like you suggest I watch a guide just to come up to speed with something.
So I watched. I thoroughly recommend GameSpot's Jake Decker and Callie Plaggy. They're both huge into Animal Crossing, and they've compiled like some videos. Like there's 3 videos in general that I suggest. There's one where it's like everything you should do on your first day, because I think that really sets you up for what your routine should be.
Sets you up for life.
Yeah, exactly. Like lessons you should know, which taught me like, oh, I can hit a rock and stuff comes out of it, and there's special rocks around the island every day you should hunt for and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then just like general tips on like what to do with foreign fruit. Like I didn't know that, I have apples on my island. I didn't know that other islands have different fruit.
Yeah.
And I should bring that fruit back, and instead of selling it, I should grow it, because
Other
fruit
people-
not native to the island sells for more. So it's like little tips like that
Slippery
I wouldn't
slope
know.
is all I'm
very
hearing.
slippery slope, yes. But I probably have a lot more to say next week, because then I would have gone through a whole week with
Yeah,
it.
you've just done like a day or two.
I
at
like
the moment,
scratched
yeah.
the surface, really.
I'm excited to play it. I got my copy now. Yeah. I'll come visit your island. Let's hope my island doesn't have apples, so we can share.
Yeah, then we can share.
share
I
our
hope it has
fruit.
like peaches or something.
What you told me that I really like, you said that if like people visiting your island happens in real time. So I'm very excited to be like, I'm watering my flowers, and you just rock up like, hey,
Yeah,
how's
hi.
it going?
I can
Let
leave
me-
messages
Let
on
me
your
help you
bulletin
water
board.
these flowers.
Exactly, yeah. Let me. I'm gonna come to your island, souped up on fruit, and destroy all your rocks.
It sounds so dumb when we say it.
Souped up on fruit.
Tell my mom, like, Alessandra visited me the other day. Where? On my island. we caught bugs together. It was a great time.
It's like, what the fuck am I children
He
doing?
destroyed my rocks, that asshole.
Can you imagine the
grief
blank
in
look
that
on her
game?
face? I don't know.
Because
I don't think you can go into someone's island and completely fuck it up.
Because
Yeah.
Corona or not, if you destroy my tent, I'm driving over to beat you up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't
Well,
played
we
enough to
can
know, but we'll
investigate,
check. Yeah,
Shit, I'm
I
very
can't destroy
excited
your
to
rocks
play.
though.
No. Give me your peaches.
Oh my
Bitch. Give me your peaches, or this rock gets it.
Yeah,
It's
or
like,
this
no,
rock gets
not
it,
the
yeah.
rock. It's my last one. Yeah, I'm very keen to play
It's
it,
cool.
so.
Yeah, it's my first one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's very, very charming, and I like it a lot. So yeah. Should we get to
Damn. We had a
hour
lot
in.
to talk about this week, though, so don't worry.
Should we get to and there's like lots of gaming news. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Well, with people needing shit to keep them busy at home, here's a 2-hour premiere edition episode of Checkpoint Chat.
This week just decided to be like, hey, you know that Xbox Series X, you know that PS5.
God.
It's
Wow,
like,
what a
wow,
week.
yeah. Let's just get to games releases real quick.
Oh boy,
So yesterday, Doom Eternal and
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing came out. So we're looking at releases from the 21st of March. Holy shit. To the, I think it's the 28th. Yeah, 28th.
Anything else big this month? Because it feels like
There's actually a lot.
I know.
So starting your week off well, March 23rd, Half-Life Alyx.
Oh my god, that's out on Monday.
Speaking
today.
of which, I finished Black Mesa. What a game.
Oh, was it good? You enjoyed
What
it?
a game, yeah.
It's good, eh?
I know a lot of people don't like the alien planet at the end
I
because
think,
there's a lot of platforming.
yeah, I think even in the original, I remember it being a lot like, it was just different.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like it, but it was a bit like, well, I kind of preferred being
Yeah.
back in Black Mesa.
I didn't mind it so much because I felt like they signposted where I needed to go pretty well. There's a part really at the end of that where it's like, I'm in alien, like conveyor belt hell, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the one part of the game I was like, I just don't like this at all. But otherwise, really, the ending's weird. It's like
The
G-Man,
G-Man
and there's
ending.
like two options, and it's like
That was from
he's
the original.
bizarre.
Yeah. So are you going to play Half-Life 2 now?
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know if that game holds up. And I don't know if it'll quite blow you away as much as it did in its heyday. But I do think now, having played Black Mesa, you'll appreciate the world. And like,
I think
just
that's-
Gordon Freeman
yeah.
as a character, like the silent dude who's just
But
doing
that's why-
God's work for humanity.
That's
you
why I
know?
wanted to play Black Mesa first
To
because
give
I
you
need to
some
get this
context,
experience.
yeah.
And also, like, I didn't realize there's like a 3-year gap in.
Yeah. Half-Life 2 picks up in a completely different...
So it's like Gordon Freeman got put on ice by G-Man, and now he's back, and now like this alien forces taken over Earth, the Combine.
It was very weird to go to Half-Life 2. It's like, this is kind of a weird futuristic dystopian. How did this happen? But time passed, so...
Yeah. And G-Man's like this interdimensional bureaucrat.
It's
like...
Yeah, very, very fascinating character. You should go read up some
I've
theories
read
on
a lot,
him.
and a lot of people compare G-Man to basically like Valve.
Yeah.
They basically say G-Man is the manifestation of Valve saying you do not have control over this game.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like, holy fuck.
Oh, the X-Files.
Yeah, exactly. I just love his voice. There was a trailer with the voice actor doing some stuff for Alex yesterday, and I was like, that voice is so creepy and eerie.
So that comes out this week.
Yeah, Monday.
Are you going to finish Half-Life 2 before you play Alex? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I have to, because it's a prequel, so if I don't have that context, like...
It'll be a bit... In terms of story, Alex is actually the next one.
Yes.
But in terms of, like, how far games have come in the last 10, 15 years, I think it's better to play,
I did read up on because Black Mesa doesn't include the expansions to Half-Life 1, so Opposing Forces and Blue Shift.
Those, like I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, those are like... They happen in the same
side
world,
stories,
but they're not at all crucial to...
It's interesting, though. I read up on them, and G-Man features in some of them as well. So it's like, it was interesting to read, but like, I don't feel the need to go back and play.
I'd love to know if now that like Black Mesa took like 13 years, however long.
A very long time.
What are they going to do next? Do you think that they'll...
Do a Half-Life 2 one?
Yeah, imagine they do like a complete revamp of Half-Life 2, or do they now say, hey, well, Opposing Forces... we've got the worlds, let's just do the side story in the same engine now.
I know there is another team, another studio entirely remaking Half-Life 1 in Unreal Engine.
What?
So this one was made in Source, obviously.
Shit.
But now they're doing Unreal, and I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, Half-Life remakes will be
play
good.
it again.
And then in like 5-10 years now, they'll be like, hey, that's done in Unreal Engine. We're going to remake it in Unity now.
Yeah, in Unity, in Crytek's
We're going to remake it in Dreams now.
Oh my God.
Someone will probably do it.
That game was way longer than I thought it would be. It was like
Black Mesa.
16 hours or so.
I think even the original was a surprisingly long.
Yeah. It's there's some good moments in that game, like especially near the end where shit is going real south with it's real good.
I actually should play it.
And you get a lot of weapons and I was having a good time.
How did you feel going back to like an original? I know we've completely sidebarred.
Yeah.
How do you feel going back to a shooter where you've got infinite pocket space?
No, no aim down sights, except for the...
But not only that, the fact that you don't just have 2 weapons at any time.
Oh, you have so many.
You have like everything
It was a bit jarring because it's like, when I want to get to a certain weapon, I'm just flicking my mouse. And I'm like, yeah.
Then in game, Gordon's like, oh no.
He's like pulling out his backpack, But it's like, it prepared me for Doom, I guess, because Doom is exactly the same. So, it was a good game.
Doom.
That there's so many... The SMG in that game is so satisfying to use. And then the
highly
crossbow.
inaccurate, but very satisfying.
Very satisfying, which is probably my most used weapon. Yeah, very good. And the alternate fire on the shotgun just turns people
double
into
shot.
nothing.
It's good.
It's real good.
Now I need to play it.
Half-Life Alyx, March 23rd.
Apologies for that 5-minute side.
Moons of Madness, which is a sort of like horror game that came out on PC last year. PS4, Xbox One. I actually played this at E3 and I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah? Is it a like first person, third person?
Yeah, first person.
Okay.
Reminds me of like a Gone Home Tacoma thing, like a horror thriller type thing.
Nice.
I enjoyed what I played of it. Funny story.
Sidebar, here we go.
Oh my God, I'll never forget this till the day I die. Because you know how demos work. It's like you've got a half an hour slot. So I arrived there on time. It's a small room because it's like an indie studio. They're very appreciative. And I'm like stoked. I'm like, cool, this looks like my sort of game. And I start playing on the PC. And so the whole week I'd been in the GameSpot war room and they had catering there. And I don't know what I ate. Man.
I know.
As I sat down to play this, I'm like, my stomach doesn't feel too hot.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, okay, this is only half an hour. Let me just
You
push
can survive,
through.
yeah.
Because this is like, I've only got half an hour. Like 2 minutes go by. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Shit.
So I had to get up and be like, I'll be back. I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was gone for like 20 minutes. My stomach was fucked. And I came back and the dude was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Could I just get a little more time with this? Because like my appointment's like done now.
Done. Shit, man.
And luckily there was no one after me because otherwise I would have had to. And this was for GameSpot.
Oh,
This
no.
wasn't
So you
for
like, couldn't miss it, yeah.
No, it was like now do I go back and be like, yeah, I played 2 minutes of this game and then went to shit myself in the toilet?
There's my
Like,
impression.
I'll never.
Shut
The guy's face is just like, what is wrong with you?
No, but those situations, it's the worst thing because like you actually have no control.
Oh, I really tried. I just had no control.
It's like,
yeah.
Like I don't want to
And
say
those bathrooms, they
it's,
suck. I hate them so
like,
much.
It's almost socially frowned upon because the dude probably was like, how could you? But it's like,
Yeah, it's like there's nothing I could do,
was
man.
Your choice,
Like,
like it's a natural body thing. Sometimes, like, sorry, shit literally happens. Oh my god.
And again, it's like American bathrooms suck because there's so much space above and below, like that is open. I hate it.
Yeah.
And also, there's so much water in those damn toilets.
It's weird.
I hate it. I feel so exposed when, like, I can see people. No, I hate it. I hate it so much. Fix your bathrooms,
You almost
America.
expect
God.
someone to like stick their head under the like, hey, how's it going? Like, no.
Jesus, no, I hate it. Anyway, maybe we'll get through this list one day.
One day. Every game's got a side story.
God.
Okay, we've gone through to Half-Life, Alex.
God, there's so many. Xbox exclusive or Microsoft exclusive Bleeding Edge coming out on PC and Xbox One March 24th. I've heard. I mean, I've seen this game. I have absolutely no excitement for this game, to be honest. Like, it's an Overwatch thing,
to
and
see
I'm
how
just
it plays. And like I said previously, now that I'm Game Pass, it just never dawned on me that I'd have access to it on PC. And
so you'll
I can
have
play
it, but it's like, I don't know. Do we need another multiplayer? Anyway,
who knows?
Oh, this is cool. Assemble with Care is coming to PC on March 26th. Mm-hmm. So this is made by the people who did Florence.
Oh,
and I played it on Apple Arcade already. It's real good.
Okay, it's
Real
good.
It's like an hour and a half thing. It's really good.
So and it's on mobile as well.
Yeah. So it's a story-focused, very light puzzle. I say puzzle, but it's not really like hard. But it's basically like you are a repair, a lady who does like repairs, and she's in the city and she repairs things that are central to like this progressing story.
Yeah.
And each thing is like very sentimental to the person. So it's quite cool picking apart things and fixing them, and then how it connects to the story. It's very good.
Okay.
But yeah, if you've got Apple Arcade, 100% recommend. But it's out on PC.
Is it an Apple Arcade exclusive? Could I not
Yes.
just buy it on the store? No. Okay.
Yeah.
I really got to try Apple Arcade.
Oh, try a free month. Yeah. It's
Slippery slope.
Assemble with Care and Grindstone. Oh,
Grindstone, I know.
God,
It's something I need to
love
try.
Grindstone so much. Another VR game, Down the Rabbit Hole. Oculus, PSVR, and Steam VR. Never heard that.
Damn.
March 27th, Saints Row 4 re-elected, coming out on Switch. I thought Saints Row 4 sucked, so
I know.
I like Saints Row 3 a lot. I did not like 4,
Damn.
even though it was like superpowers and whatever, and it's just like they jumped the shark too much for me. This is a really good typo here. Dirt Rally, which is really good. Dirt Rally 2.0 Game of the Year edition coming to PS4, PC, and Xbox One March 27th.
When's the last time you played a rally game?
Dirt 3,
When was that?
long ago. I enjoyed that game a lot.
I mean, I have very fond memories of playing Colin McRae on the PS1. Rally games are a lot of fun.
It was Colin McRae's Dirt, but then he passed away. So,
But I've played tons of rally games on the PS1 though, and since then I think I reviewed one for Critical Hit like way back when. But I just distinctly remember playing rally games and thinking like, damn, people do this in real life.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, that's like Formula One's skill definitely.
Oh,
But
yeah,
rally
100%.
drivers, I'd put it like almost on the same pedestal.
100%.
You're just driving these,
if not higher.
You've got a random dude reading the routes here off a clipboard. Like,
It's
holy
fucking
shit.
dangerous as hell. So as far as I know, Dirt was more like the arcadey type thing. I
Yeah.
remember playing Dirt 3 and it was quite arcadey. That's where they first introduced that Gymkhana stuff as well. Dirt Rally is the very simulation focused one. So Dirt Rally 2 is like
So you'll die.
held in
if you're
high
not
regard,
there.
but it is very simulation based.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Lost Words Beyond the Page coming to Google Stadia March 27th.
Is that a Google Stadia exclusive?
I assume so.
Damn.
And then the last one for the week, One Piece Pirate Warriors for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. March 27th. One Piece is that pirate anime with the stretchy arm guy.
Yara.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know his name.
That dude. Awesome.
Dhalsim.
The One Piece.
Dhalsim. It's actually the origin story to Dhalsim in Street Fighter. Yeah.
Who knew? Who came first? Oh, Dhalsim's the origin story to One Piece.
Could be. Well, I don't know. In Street Fighter
Getting your
5,
lore wrong
Dhalsim's
here.
like super old.
Yeah, he's ancient.
Yeah, he's
Shit.
like Gandhi with stretchy arms.
Oh my god, he'll punch you from afar. Best. My favorite is still that you refer to him as stretchy arm guy because it
Stretchy arm
pisses
guy.
off Jeffson.
I know. But that's what he is. He's like those toys you used to get. Like, there used to be wrestling toys where you could just pull their arms
Yeah.
and they're straight. That's Dawson, man.
Oh, called Dawson
And he spits
dolls.
fire. Yeah, exactly.
Have some fire.
And wears the skulls of his enemies
Oh,
on his
no.
neck.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Jeez, he's fucked up. He's not Gandhi.
Yeah, he's got issues.
He's not peace. He's war.
He's war. He's like,
Oh my god, my PC's running out of battery.
Oh shit. Okay, well, while we wait for the... Wow, did we just not plug it in?
This laptop is so... Well, it's getting old now. Look at this. It was on charge when you left here, and it's been...
Well, that is such a mindfuck because I thought this was the charge. I was going to laugh at you that
Be
you
like,
put on the
what are
wrong
you
side.
doing?
Because it looks like it is. What is that even?
That's an aux port.
Oh. Well, who knew? Who knew? So, news.
Oh
what
my
a
God.
wild week of news we've had.
Jesus. So
Shall we just...
I'm going to jump right
Let's
right,
just jump
right
into
to
it.
it. So
Xbox or PS?
Microsoft and Sony decided to basically just fucking show off their consoles this week.
They flex some guns.
Yeah, they flexed.
Although show off was we're using that like liberally. I mean, Sony didn't really show off the console, but they did do a deep dive into their thinking and some of the tech behind it.
Yeah, definitely. I think Microsoft has been a bit far more liberal with details. They've been, showing off things quite frequently lately. So they basically just went into a more tech-focused, they basically got Digital Foundry to come out and basically tear apart the console.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go like super into detail. I think if you really want the nitty gritty, Digital Foundry does a phenomenal job of talking way over my head.
That's their thing though.
It's like super technical, super fascinating to read about. But the highlights are basically the Xbox Series X, 12 teraflops.
Flippity flops.
Yeah, it's running off. Both consoles are
flips.
actually running off AMD's new RDNA architecture, RDNA 2. So very, very cutting edge GPUs on there. Series X will feature a SSD, internal SSD. You'll be able to expand SSD storage using, so far, proprietary little expansion slots. They look like little memory cards, but they're actually these new form factor SSDs that plug into this proprietary slot on the back.
Okay.
And they're made by Seagate at the moment.
Okay.
So I don't know yet if Microsoft is letting other manufacturers take that form factor and make their own hard drives, but they've only announced Seagate right now. So everyone thinks they're proprietary.
I wonder though, because with stuff like that, you often do find that there are generics or knockoffs, or so like will other hard drive companies
Make it.
Like I don't know, maybe it won't be officially supported, but it's like I can go buy a cheap knockoff iPhone cable, which works most of the time, but it's not quite the original. I don't know what it'll be like, but it's interesting that it's...
The point is like you can buy these, plug it in, you can take it out, put it in another Xbox and have your games available there.
Which is really cool.
You can also plug in a normal hard drive like we have on current consoles, but the catch is that to play Series X games,
You have to
they
have
will
it on
need to
there.
be on the SSD. You can store the games on the hard drive, but you'll need to transfer them to the SSD to play them because obviously the games are depending on a certain type of memory speed.
But even so, like I'm glad that that's an option. But I personally feel that the age of storage is like it's a bit of a moot point now because not everyone, but most people have access to high-speed internet. So like we have friends like Craig, for example, who's got hard drives full of games.
Like 4 terabytes.
And I'm like, but why? You never play half those games. If you decide to play a game on a day, like yesterday's a good example. I got a review code for Doom and I started the download late, but I downloaded 40 gigs in 3 hours. So if I know like it's on a day, like I really want to start playing this game, I can get home from work, download it by 9 p.m. It's ready to go.
And let's be honest, if you've got auto updates off, you're probably downloading around the same time, just updating the game.
Exactly.
eventually.
I mean, there are some exceptions, of course. Like if I choose to play Red Dead Redemption 2 on a day, like or Call of Duty,
it's like
whatever,
100 gigs,
but I can do it overnight.
Yeah.
We don't live in like a 1 to 4 meg ADSL aging.
Oh yeah,
where
it would take multiple
you
days.
would, I mean,
yeah.
if you had to try, so my one friend Cello's got a 4 meg ADSL line. Like, shame, he's shown us he's shown us his fiber map, and like literally all around him there's fiber, and his street is like excluded, like inexplicably. So he's still on ADSL, and he spends I don't know how long like trying to download. Is it Rainbow Six Siege or a big game? And a thing that happens overnight will take days or weeks, especially with load shedding. Like it's a silly thing. But my point is, if most people do have fiber, I don't quite understand this. Like, I'm glad there's support for it, but personally, I don't need an external hard drive.
Totally understand. Yeah, I think that there should be options irrespective, and I'm glad there are options.
Definitely.
I just hope that these little expansion drives aren't super expensive, because I know everyone is immediately thinking of what Sony did with the PS Vita and their proprietary storage. But I think the difference here is that your internal storage is, I mean, the Vita had 4 gigs internal? It was, no, you needed a memory card. You had to buy a memory card.
You had to,
This one comes with 1 terabyte inside already, which is in the grander scheme. So there's this weird murky ground where it's like, okay, that will only store 6 games. It's like, yes, but also remember that developers have already spoken about going forward optimizing, firstly, install sizes, but also the Xbox and the PS5 tout this feature where it's like, hey, if you want to play Call of Duty and you only want to download the single player, you can. Yeah. Whereas these consoles are designed with you have to download the entire thing, no questions asked.
You mean existing consoles? Yeah, so future you'll...
So I think there's a bit of... I think the way we think of storage will change a little bit, but we'll see. So there's that aspect to it. They showed off the new controller, which is basically a slightly smaller Xbox One controller. They said they looked at controllers that would work in 8-year-old hands because they found that people with smaller hands can't use big controllers, but people with bigger hands can use smaller controllers.
That's fun. So the Xbox One controller for me personally very nice, but
I think it's perfect.
I've got big hands.
Yeah, I also think I think they said it's around 10 or 20% smaller. It's a fraction smaller.
That's not I'm keen to see it because I think it will look really nice in real life.
So other than that, I think because of the fact that it's backwards compatible, they've kept all the same buttons, face buttons, whatever. The one thing they have added is a share button. Thank the Lord. Because sharing on Xbox is such a pain right now without a dedicated button. And also what I like is the bumpers and the triggers are textured.
That's quite nice.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's... I think they're looking at the Elite controller and saying, what can we put in here as a standard?
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's coming holiday 2020.
Yeah, we have an actual release date. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, no. They retracted that. Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, apparently it was a mistake. Yeah.
Okay. Because I did think okay, they actually came out.
Thanksgiving would be a fucking flex of note because putting that shit out on Black Friday.
I did cross my mind. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that is a yeah. What is the other thing? They showed off demos of Quick Resume and the loading. So they used State of Decay 2 as an example. On the Xbox One X, it takes 50 seconds to load. On the Series X, it took 8.
I understand why they showed the game, but all that it proved to me is that State of Decay 2 is shit at loading.
Yeah, because it generates that world the first time when you load into it. It's so long.
Even on that demo, it's side by side. Here's the new Xbox against the old one. And even the new one, I'm like, okay, it's going to load real quick. And you still watch the load screen. And 8 seconds isn't long. Especially compared to 50 seconds. But I was like, damn, why would they use State of Decay? I don't know, use Gears 5, for example, because maybe it takes 15 seconds on the original Xbox, but it's 1 second on the... So I was just watching I would have not shown this specifically.
Yeah, it seemed like a weird choice.
That's just me being nitpicky.
They should have shown that and then other games.
And other games, side by side.
The quick resume thing is super cool to me. Yeah. It's so you can have 3 Xbox Series X games suspended at a time, or if you're playing Xbox One or backwards compatible 360 and original Xbox games, you can have more. So they were showing he was swapping between State of Decay and Ori and Forza and Gears and just quickly loading it up immediately back into where. So as far as I can tell, it takes whatever the state that the game has in RAM and copies it to the SSD. So what both consoles can do, like you'll see, there's so much overlap between these consoles. Because the SSD is so fast, they can essentially use parts of the SSD as virtual RAM because it's fast enough. So essentially, both these consoles have 16 gigs of RAM, which people go, that's fine for now, but what about in 8 years? It's mitigated by the SSD because developers can put what they would usually put into RAM on the SSD and access it just as quickly.
How much RAM does the PS4 and Xbox One have, for example?
8 gigs.
I mean, the thing about like 8 gigs by today's standard sounds like, oof.
8 gigs is too little now.
It's too little. No, it is too little, but you still are getting games like God of War. And so... Yeah, maybe 16 gigs is little, but there is the room.
16 gigs is like if you're building a PC, I'd say that's what you should aim for now.
Yeah.
But in 8 years, that will probably be too little. But they've already got an idea of how to mitigate that. Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on to the PS5. So the PlayStation 5 presentation was done by good old Mark Cerny.
The best pun, Curvin, the Cerny PlayStation.
Mark Cerny's lead architect he's been lead architect on the PlayStation for years now. Don't forget that this is a dude in the 1980s programmed a video game when he was 17.
Yeah.
That blew people's minds.
He's super smart.
He's an incredibly smart human being, especially when it comes to like rendering technology and stuff like that. So it was a very technical talk because it was meant to be at GDC. But basically the details we got were the PlayStation 5 is only 10.8 teraflops.
Flippity flops.
Yeah. But Mark Cerny made a very pointed comment on how teraflops aren't the only measure. They are not as important as people should think. Again, Digital Foundry makes good cases for pros and cons of both of these arguments. You should read those. They've also got they've got their own SSD in there.
Yeah.
This was the big talking point, I thought, was they've got an SSD in there that's already about twice as fast as the Xboxes.
Yeah.
Like it's so fast that commercial SSDs you can buy today don't match it yet.
Well, I mean, I know we'll get to it, but you can expand your storage on your PlayStation 5 with SSDs that don't exist yet. Basically.
Essentially, yeah. So Mark Cerny was like, we've custom made this one. That's why it's only 825 gigabytes. It's this weird size because it matches how their input and output works. And basically, he said that, yes, there will be an internal expansion slot. So it's not going to be like memory cards on the outside. Yeah. And that you will be able to use off-the-shelf SSDs, but Sony will have to vet them in terms of, firstly, size, because SSDs get extremely hot. So depending on the size of the heat sinks on them, they might not fit. Also, the M.2 size is not standardized, so they need to make sure that it fits into their slot. They also, firstly, have to... So Sony's SSD, in terms of raw transfer speeds is like 5.5 gigabytes per second, which is like, if you're talking about raw on the Xbox Series X, is only about 2.2.
Yeah, I mean, and think of like your SSD or my SSD, for example. It's probably
even hit that. It's like not even a gig.
Yeah,
like it's super the pinnacle of like SSD tech. It's truly phenomenal. So basically, Sony will need to vet SSDs that are faster than that because they need the overhead because they're not custom. They need a bit more speed to kind of compensate for that.
Yeah.
And they also need, he was talking about priority channels on the SSD, which I'm not entirely clear on. And he's like, most commercial ones only have 2 priority channels where we have 6.
Okay.
So
like a humble flex there.
Yeah. So like Mark Cerny made a point of saying that at launch, which they're expecting to be end of this year as well, SSDs for expansion won't be ready yet.
Yeah.
So it will be a few months probably until you'll be able to expand your storage on the PS5. But what it does give developers is this sort of speed that will change the way that they design games. A lot of developers, I know there was a lead designer or lead programmer at Naughty Dog said this is like the most exciting tech thing that's happened in consoles in his career.
Yeah.
Because it means like designers can look at things like winding corridors that are designed in a specific way that they limit the player's speed through them so that they can load things, coming forward. Developers use all sorts of tricks.
Even Mark Cerny touched on that, like games often use like an elevator, for example, and it's this really unnecessarily long elevator ride just to.
Or God of War, when you crawling through tight crawl spaces, it's actually deloading the Lake of Nines and loading in everything.
Yeah,
else.
if you've ever played a game and wondered why am I always being forced through this tight little gap, because it is a thing that happens in games quite regularly.
Oh yeah, it happened in Fallen Order a lot of the
Tomb
time.
Raider.
Tomb Raider.
I mean, that's a trick to load the next area of the
That's
game.
the most common one now. Like people have figured out that that's what's actually happening. So he was basically saying that there can be designs around that. He keeps using Spider-Man as an example where you can move through the city much quicker now because the city loads a lot quicker. The thing is, like, so Sony's touting this as this big revolution, but it reminded me a lot of when NVIDIA came out with ray tracing and said, oh, this is going to change the way games are designed because now developers can make this area very, very dark and put an enemy there that you naturally won't see. And because of ray tracing, it will work, on a design level. You can think about these things. But that hasn't happened yet because, well, only a very small portion of PC players have ray tracing cards. So, of course, games are not going to be designed around that. Like, you can't change your design based on a very small subset of players.
Yeah.
So my concern is like Sony's doing the same thing. They're saying, cool, you can design this, but it's going to require this SSD that only the PlayStation 5 has. PCs don't have it.
Yeah.
Or not yet at least.
Yeah.
But the most important is the Xbox doesn't have it. So any third-party games that are looking at design changes, they have to program to the common denominator. So sure, maybe PS5 exclusives will have it, but how big of a design... This is the thing we don't know. How big of a design difference will it make? Will it be something that players actually notice? Or will it be like, oh, this game doesn't really load that much? Or, oh, I'm not a designer, so I don't know.
I also have no idea. But like with ray tracing, my thing is it probably will have an impact, but it's a sort of thing of like the Xbox will have ray tracing. The PlayStation, they said,
will have ray tracing.
Yeah. Like
Hardware-based
now it
ray
makes
tracing,
sense to design games
now you're gonna,
specifically.
Now you're going to see, now's the perfect time to buy a ray tracing card or wait for NVIDIA's new ones because now games are going to start utilizing it a lot more.
Whereas this sort of high-speed SSD, whatever, like Sony has it now. PCs will inevitably get it. Eventually, but then you're not going to see these sorts of, like you said, you're not going to see people using this to design the games.
No, definitely not.
Not for a long time, I don't think.
I mean, I'm even worried now about like PCs because now, even if you look at Xbox's SSD as the lowest common denominator, that means everyone playing on PC will have to upgrade to an SSD that outputs that speed.
Yeah.
Which is already, I mean, I upgraded to an NVMe drive not too long ago and it's not fast enough.
Yeah.
And that's like top of the range right now. Like, so it's like, so what do they do for PC players?
Yeah.
There always has to be this common ground because developers, especially third parties, are looking to sell as many copies of a game. They're not going to go, suddenly, we're not supporting PC or we're not supporting Xbox because of the SSD. Like, that just won't happen.
PS5 exclusives will definitely have
100%,
some sort of thing about
100%. But, everyone's going on and on about this SSD. And yes, it's like phenomenally impressive. Like, I didn't expect the thing to be spoken about mostly for this gen to be SSDs.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if Sony's jumped the gun here a little bit.
Yeah.
They've designed something so phenomenal and so impressive that only they can use.
Yeah. It's interesting though because like to put it in layman terms, like if I put it down, so we've seen spec sheets of raw numbers and like the Xbox has this many flippity flops and the PlayStation this whatever.
Yeah.
But the one thing that stood out to me is like Xbox this week said like here's State of Decay 2 loading and it took 5 seconds, 6 seconds, whatever it was. Sony haven't really shown anything besides like that Spider-Man like going through the city. But he basically said like no load times.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Which is, I'm like, that's very interesting. Like I want to see that. If you put it like that, it's like Xbox Series X.
It makes
load
Xbox
times.
look archaic
PlayStation
already,
5, no load times. I'm like, it's such a silly thing because at the end of the day, like I can wait 5 seconds to a minute for a game to load. But there's gamers and just
it will be an arguing
hardware
point.
techs, geeks in general are like, oh my god, like there's no load times. I must have that
at all.
So,
but eventually it will catch up because it's like eventually, I mean, SSDs, they've had this generational leap over the past few years. But we are, and I don't know if this will happen during this console generation, but we will get to a point where loading times will come back because the assets that are being loaded in will be too big. Because SSDs are fast enough, now developers have this room to load in, like, especially when we start getting to like higher res displays, like 8K is coming. Your assets will like jump in size.
Be so much bigger.
So you'll run into the same issue.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
It's all a you know, like horse before the cart thing. And right now SSDs are really leading this thing.
But I think we can all agree that this generation is
fascinating.
It's
so
so
cool.
interesting and like almost unpredictable to a degree. Whereas, I mean, I've said and people have said like the jump from PS3 to PS4 and Xbox 360 to Xbox One was like, yeah, there's more raw power, but it didn't really change the way games are made.
Yes.
Like, not to my knowledge. Like, besides
it didn't really.
innovation and like just general game innovation aside,
It
in
felt
terms
old when it launched. Yeah.
like there are games I played in the PS4. I'm like, I could have played something like this on my PS3. Whereas the jump from PS1 to PS2 and PS2 to PS3 was like, holy shit, like what a jump.
Yeah, it's huge.
I think we finally, PS4 to PS5 and Xbox One to Xbox Series X is going to be like, wow. Like,
I think so,
this
yeah.
is changing games.
I think people underplayed it about a year ago where they were like, oh, it's just going to be prettier games. I think we're now seeing the fruits of like, I think both Microsoft and Sony are pushing the envelope here. And I'm very excited about both consoles.
Yeah.
I think both look phenomenal. So yeah, that was basically the gist of that.
That was news this week. Nothing else happened. I'm
Yeah, but there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot. As I said, go read Digital Foundry stuff for all the nitty gritty details. Oh my god, I chose this picture here on GameSpot and I fucking love it.
I need Mark Senior to read me to sleep every night.
Man, it was so soothing listening to him. Like,
the thing is, like, a lot of people said that the talk was like boring or not consumer facing, but I was busy working, listening on the side. It was actually really fascinating.
Oh, it's fascinating.
I don't know if that's just me being a nerd, but he's explaining how shit works. Like,
he got so nitty gritty though.
He got
like,
super technical.
Especially when he got to the audio. That was another big thing. Was like Sony's looking at audio solutions that if you have stereo headsets, will be able to project like 3D audio very realistic, which is awesome.
That's
really cool.
I even used the example of like TV speakers of like even that to a degree.
Very cool stuff.
Figure out that it's like 3D audio,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
Not everyone's got a home theater.
No,
so
and sound is such a such an
huge part.
It's such an underappreciated part of games as well. Where I do think, as the average consumer, if I watched a PlayStation presentation, like, because he did phrase it like, well, we looked at our PlayStation. He's like, what is another area we could really focus in? And he mentioned audio, and I'm like, the average person's not going to give a shit. Like, maybe that's the wrong thing to say, but having played countless games with really good sound and like a decent headset. Like,
that's the thing.
It's so
you can tell immediately when a game has bad audio versus good. Like I'm so glad he used the example of Dead Space because I'm like, that's still one of the best examples of how audio can completely change a game.
I mean, like every Battlefield for the last few years is such a good example. You feel like you're in a war because the way the bullets ricochet and the explosions, the planes, it's incredible.
It's the same with actually Modern Warfare, the current iteration.
Yeah, they
Modern
put
Warfare,
a lot
their
of
sound design is phenomenal. Like,
so
really good.
I'm not at all going to scoff at.
Oh yeah, it better sound for more people. You know, like a wider range of average headsets getting better sound. That's an awesome feature. But just like as an example, he went into the nitty gritty of like signal processing. He even spoke about Fourier transforms. And I'm like getting flashbacks to third year engineering. Like, oh my god, how is he going into this much detail? Like what?
Yeah, but people gave him shit. But I think like the talk was very interesting, and I think he came across very monotone, maybe because it's a very technical thing.
He didn't miss a hitch though.
No, I think his voice is like surprisingly soothing.
It's soothing, and he conveys enthusiasm about very technical things, and he doesn't miss a beat. It's like, it was the thing that really was funny about that was the fake audience members. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, but it wasn't fake audience though.
It was pre-recorded.
No ways, because well, wait, it depends. Did they overlay like
yes?
Okay, so you were speaking to no one. Okay,
you were speaking to no one.
That I didn't get.
You were speaking to no one, and they animated those audience members. What are they doing?
Okay, because I was adamant, people were like sharing these fake audience memes, like, Hey, I saw a dude take his glasses off and clean them during the
No,
presentation.
because this was meant to be presented at GDC, so they
okay.
pre-recorded this.
That is hilarious. Okay, I didn't know that.
What the fuck?
In that context, that is hilarious.
Funny. Other news. I don't know. There wasn't.
I don't know. That like really dominated the.
There wasn't much else outside of that that I can recall off the top of my head that was like super important. I just know that Square Enix is warning people in a lot of regions about physical copies of Final Fantasy X potentially being delayed by retailers because of Corona.
Yeah.
So if you're super worried about that, digital is definitely the way to go to get it on release day. What else? There were a lot of review embargoes that dropped this week. So Animal Crossing reviewed very well. Doom Eternal reviewed very well. Persona 5 Royal has got like a 96 on Metacritic at the moment. So
I saw that.
yeah, play Persona 5 because it's friggin' good.
Look, Corona's terrifying, but there's never been a better time to be a gamer. There's so much good
especially
shit to
Persona.
play.
You've got a 100-hour game just sitting in front of you. Just play the shit out of it. And it's also like a game about social, like being social. So what better time? I think that's I'm pretty happy with just talking about the consoles this week. We're also like super over time. So
what are we on there?
like 140.
Holy shit! Okay. Yeah, let's fly through these questions. Oh my gosh,
if you want to send us questions, you can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also message us on all the social platforms at Checkpoint Chats on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.com/checkpointchat.
Every single one.
Even TikTok.
Oh my god, you can message me on my
that TikTok I sent you yesterday was so good. I loved it so much.
When the cat hits the ball, they're like,
the guy's just like, no, oh wait.
My favorite's it's basically like, an incredible machine.
Yes, incredible machine domino thing.
Yeah, like a ball drops and it rolls. And
like in the biggest house I've ever seen.
So it's obviously a dad and kids like bored out of their minds doing some shit. And then the ball gets to the top of stairs and a cat like grabs it. They're like, oh no, he screwed it up. But then the cat hits it down the stairs. And the ball ends up bouncing into the ball they're trying to hit. My favorite's when it lands in the ball, he goes crazy. The phone's just like...
The fucking freak out. They're just like, oh my God. That's the sort of thing that will never happen again.
No.
Like the cat's interference. I went through so many emotions watching that video.
God damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
TikTok is a blessing.
It is such a blessing. There's a lot of shit in it, but there's a lot of...
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bad shit, a lot of good shit.
There's some good stuff there.
I know. Oh my God, Instagram does this to me. Okay, so first question from Cello ZA.
Cello.
Are you guys committed to social distancing and sitting far away from each other? We have a meter gap and we have plans to do remote recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're obviously going to monitor the situation. We don't want to be stupid.
I can't hug Matty when you're
no handshakes. You did hand me my copy of Animal Crossing. I rubbed it all over my face, so I didn't do that.
It as well.
Oh no. Okay, next question. What is your perfect boys' night? What happens, etc.? I remember years ago, one of my favorite things to do when Gareth lived, like this is a long time ago, like maybe 8 years ago, like I don't know. We had a couple of times where we literally got together, we played poker, smoked cigars, and drank whiskey. It like literally happened once or twice.
And it's proper sophisticated.
And like I've never been a smoker like in my whole life, but
cigars are good.
I'll never say no to a cigar. Like that's something that introduced me to it, and like I can appreciate a good cigar.
That sounds like a really cool.
Yeah,
night.
So just playing poker, smoking cigars, and drinking like
playing for
nice
money
whiskey.
or just playing for fun.
No, just for fun. And I really enjoyed that sort of boys' nights.
Okay.
Or just good old gaming online. So you never go wrong with that. So.
I like going to local McGinty's, having some beers. And just chilling, just like
I think that's really it. Is if as long as there's room to like speak shit,
that's all. That's all. Having like a braai.
Yeah,
the braais are really fun. I just really enjoyed just like sitting down and talking shit. Especially a lot of my friends are in Cape Town, so we do it very infrequently, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, next question from Jeff. I don't know how to say his name. Is it Chisnell? Jeff Chisnell. He's Mooncake.
Is it Chisnell?
There's a CH.
Let us know how you pronounce your surname.
You can tell me.
I hate getting people's names wrong.
It says, how much toilet paper do you have in the cupboard?
I have not gone crazy with toilet paper, and I'm wondering if I should.
I feel very sorry though for people who legitimately just have run out of toilet paper.
Yeah,
and they walk out the store, people are like, hey, what are you doing with all that? Well, I mean, you're buying one packet, so no one's going to give you shit, but it's actually funny.
What if you go in and you really need toilet paper and there's just like
There's
nothing?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I just don't understand the toilet paper thing.
I'm also like, yeah, I get it. Like, the pun, like, it will be pretty shit if you run out of toilet paper, but there are worse things. Like, you could run out of I don't know, like food or water. Like, there's so many other things. Yeah,
up there is the main thing.
Can I just comment on that? Self-isolating. The snacking I've done at home has gone up.
It's dangerous, yeah.
Holy hell. I do not eat nearly that much at work.
Yeah.
So
the main thing for me is tea. Like I have tea with very little sugar, but just the volume of tea I'm having is like a problem.
Yeah. Shit.
Mainly because the tea at work is shit, so I don't drink it.
I miss the coffee at work. Like
I miss having a Seattle coffee.
Seattle coffee, damn. Kiss it goodbye. Bester_bash is, what is your favorite Ori Will of the Wisps ability?
I haven't played yet, so this is all you.
Ability build. Okay, so I haven't finished the game, but I presume you get access to, you've got your default like melee weapon, but you get access to like a bow and a shuriken and like a spear of light. Like there's a lot you can actually equip and interchange between. The bow, while I think it doesn't do a lot of damage, maybe because I don't have I haven't like upgraded it or anything. It's very satisfying to use. I must actually clip out, there's a Twitch video I want to clip out where you get combat trials in the game where it's like, yeah, it's awesome. So you like activate a shrine, you have to kill a whole lot of enemies and you get a reward.
Oh, this is my jam.
Okay, so it's really cool. And doing those combat trials, like it's very satisfying to like hit an enemy, dodge away, shoot them with an arrow, dodge back in, do damage. So stuff like that I really enjoy, but I haven't really unlocked everything yet, so I can't tell you what's like an optimal.
Did you ever play, have you played Bastion?
I played like an hour. I just never got into, like, it was one of those things of like, I know I'd enjoy it, but then I got distracted.
It's like one of my favorite like platformer 2D, that sort of game, like bows and arrows, because it's just got a great feel to it. Yeah. So I'm hoping that Ori's the same.
Ori's like the combat, when I say that they've put a lot more attention into the combat, they really have. Like, it's incredible. And like, I'm thrilled that they put combat rounds, because it is a thing of like, hey, like here's an opportunity for you to go through this gauntlet of enemies.
I love that stuff, because I feel like it highlights possibilities with weapons that you didn't think about. Like, good combat trials.
Yeah. Okay, next question also from Bester. Any oldie but goodie games to play in isolation? Oldie games. Well,
Black Mesa.
Black Mesa is great. I was telling Alessandra, on the Switch, the SNES emulator, I've started playing A Link to the Past.
It's good.
Which is like just an old school Zelda. And
I still need to finish it.
I actually need to look it up if it came out before or after Link's Awakening, because there's a lot of...
No, it came out before.
Is it before?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of...
91.
Okay, so there's a lot of similarity there, but Link's Awakening is great.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying... I mean, I've played like an hour,
I still need to finish Link's Awakening as well.
Yeah, so I played like an hour and a half, and just that itch was there. I'm like, ooh, like I actually want to keep playing this and finish this game now. Because I think I started up like literally one day I was sleeping in, lying in bed, and I was like, I haven't used my Switch for a while. Let me play something. And I started it, and like an hour later, I was like,
Link to the Past is good. Yeah,
I could really get into it.
I think I've played, the first dungeon. I've beaten the first boss. So it's good. I really, really like it, yeah.
Okay, last question from Bester. How to survive remote working around all in-law family members?
Oh, God. So I've isolated myself in a room that is not my bedroom, but that is also away from everyone else. I think it's nice that the rest of my family is working as well, so they do the same. So the house is actually pretty quiet during the day.
But it says in-law family members.
In-law.
So like, have you been visiting? I mean, you're not self-isolating with Shani, for example.
No,
so
that would drive me insane.
I mean, so I suppose I could answer this because I live in a cottage on my in-laws' property. And it's actually been, the difference, I guess, is that
But you've been living there for a while now.
Yeah, I really like my in-laws. And it's actually been really nice. Like, we've been forced to... I was telling you before the show, like, they're really suffering from cabin fever already.
Yeah, shame.
But it's been a lot of fun just like
because they're
being
very
together.
social, just like
They-
knowing them
Lenska and her
tangentially.
parents
Lenska's
love
parents
interacting with people.
They love going out.
So it's been an interesting adjustment for them, but it's been really nice in that like we've often had meals together, that sort of thing. Like we
cool.
do generally, but it feels like this week more so like we've just been having meals together and stuff. And I'm working at home. Like yesterday's a good example. I was busy working and then my father-in-law Tom came down. He's like, "Do you have lunch?" I'm like, "No, I've got some lunch." He's like, "Oh, but I'm making a pie and I can't possibly finish it all by myself. Would you like to
made
share
you a
it with
pie?
me?" No, he like warmed up like a Woolies pie. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yummy.
It's like, "I can't possibly finish it myself. Would you like to share it with me?" I was like, "This is a perk of living here. Like, this is a good in-law that
I get
like,
fed.
I get fed." So like I don't have any advice other than have nice in-laws. You know, or I don't know.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Yeah, because that's all we have over on Instagram. Did we get any emails?
I think we did.
Oh boy. Let me just refresh. I never got around to seeing. Oh boy, we have a lot from Megs. What are we on there?
150.
150. Okay, let's see. Let me just check Twitter quickly because I think we had one or two on Twitter that
Should we answer Twitter and leave Migs for next week?
for next week.
Unless there's any pertinent ones.
Okay, let me skim through. So over on Twitter, we have from DeathboxZA says, "What's the choice, lads?" Did you see this image here? You can only choose two smells, okay?
Two smell. Okay, read out the smells.
1, fresh cut grass. 2, homemade bread. 3, strong coffee. 4, line dried sheets. 5, dark chocolate. 6, garden dirt. 7, campfire. 8, brownies baking.
Ooh.
9, this one I found so interesting, chlorine.
Interesting.
10, baby snuggles.
Wait, what?
Baby snuggles.
Fuck
like
off.
babies have a smell.
I don't care. Get the baby away.
11, apple pie.
Ooh.
12, banana boat sunscreen. Like, I don't know what the hell that is.
We'll replace it with banana bread.
13, new books. 15, fresh towels. 15,
fresh what?
Fresh towels.
Oh, I thought you said fresh hell. And I was like,
Fresh hell. 15, leather boots.
ooh.
16, right before it rains.
Ooh.
So there's some real good ones here. And I think I looked at this and I thought, one thing I love, there's one smell I really love is when you walk into a coffee shop, you get hit there with that smell.
No, that's an auto.
So strong
auto
coffee, I
selection
think,
for
is
me.
one
Yeah.
I would 100% choose.
The smell of coffee is like heavenly. It's
And then just to entice me and make me hungry, I love the smell of like freshly baked bread.
Oh, we're the same person.
Oh, really?
I think I was gonna. It was between the bread and the freshly cut grass.
Yeah, look, so like I like fresh cut grass, and right before it rains, like if
I
you
don't like that smell.
if like I like that smell, but if the option was like the smell after it rains,
Yeah, I prefer
there's
it
a
much after.
big
yeah.
difference. I prefer that. So
Before it's like that ammonia smell, and I'm not a huge fan
like,
of that. Like, but yeah, fresh bread, fresh banana bread. Oh my lord.
God damn.
But yeah, freshly cut grass is good. But yeah, coffee is a no-brainer for me. Like,
Yeah.
coffee is one of the best smelling things in the world.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, let's answer one Meg's question because there are 7, and we'll save the other 6 for next.
Send us your 2 best smells out of that list.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, sorry,
choose
Megs.
baby,
We've
my God.
actually run out of we are severely over. So I'm just going to do one of your questions.
We'll keep them for next week. We won't forget. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh, so he says first your questions answers. This is fun. Says Matthew, the 9 years is basically how long I had my previous TV for before it got stolen. Shit.
That sucks.
That TV was a 40-inch while the new TV is a 55-inch. That's cool.
That's
a nice upgrade.
Yeah, I found 55 a good size.
Yeah. Alessandra, I haven't heard of the term of bias lighting before, and sadly don't have used it.
What?
What is
But that photo you sent really looked like bias lighting.
Oh. What I'm using instead is a 5-meter LED strip stuck to the back of the TV. It's remote controlled, so I can change the color at any time.
That's basically bias lighting.
Okay, well then, Migs,
That's literally bias lighting.
You've
yeah.
stumbled.
You've stumbled upon one of the greatest tricks in TV watching ever. Bias lighting. Yeah, that's literally what it is.
And I think let's leave off there because we are severely over. But we will get your questions next week, Migs.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
If you want to send us questions like Megs did and we never read them, but we'll read them next
We will.
week
Don't you worry.
because we just severely overtime this week.
We spoke so much shit this week.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
It was good. You can send us a question at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com via email, and then at checkpointchats on all the social platforms. Send us questions whenever you like. DMs are always open. Send us your Animal Crossing islands. Show us what fruits you're growing. Send us your. I think there's a Switch code, and then there's an island code called a Dodo code. So send us your Dodo codes.
Yeah.
We'll visit your island. Yeah.
We'll come steal your peaches.
Your peaches. And destroy your rocks.
Oh my God, not the rocks.
It's been episode 91 of Checkpoint Chat.
The longest episode in existence.
Yeah, probably, I think, our longest episode yet.
Maybe.
Very fun. Yeah, it's probably because we're not going to see each other for a while because we're figuring out remote recording now.
Let's break this out over a month. Half an hour.
Oh my God, you're half an hour every week for a month. We could honestly do that.
Week 3, it's like, we've got hot news on the PS5 and Xbox.
By then, it's probably like, we actually see what the PS5
PS5's got a launch date. Oh my God.
But thank you for listening. Stay safe in self-isolation. Don't touch each other. Don't touch your face.
Yeah,
Wash your
just be
hands.
cautious, guys. Like,
just be sensible about it.
Yeah, like it's weird how some people are just not taking it seriously. And like, I get it. You think, what are the odds of me? There's 200 cases. What are the odds of me catching it? And I get that, but at the end of the day, you can get it and pass it on to someone else. You might not even realize.
Exactly. It's not about you catching it. It's about the potential of you spreading it to people who potentially can be life-threatened by this disease.
Here's a good example. So Tom, my father-in-law, who very kindly offered to share his power with me, very kind person, he has diabetes. And that is classified as a high risk. So if he were to get it, it's going to be real
potentially bad.
So
think about any elderly people in your family, grandmothers, grandfathers who potentially have compromised immune systems or trouble with even just general influenza. You can be asymptomatic and not be showing some symptoms. Just be cautious.
Yeah.
Don't panic, but I think heed all the warnings that are going around. Just be cautious.
And if you get bored, just listen to us. We'll be back every week. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're being cautious right now. I'm not touching Matty on his face like I usually do.
I'm going to drive home in my hazmats. Whoa, what? Is this when I'm sleeping that I'm not aware of?
He's sleeping and I'm just like...
Well, like Lupin.
We've been to E3 together.
Oh, no. Yeah, and that's episode 91.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.